Welcome back to Bridges and Breakdowns. If you are under the sound of my voice, you have returned for another episode. Your favorite or soon to be favorite millennials. I am Aliza, and I'm here today joined by my beautiful, effervescent, lovely, incredible, brilliant, soon to be birthday having best friend, Lauren.
Hey y'all.
Yes.
I'm a birthday girl. My birthday
Almost.
tomorrow.
Let's chill. I feel like Leo season, folks,
It's
just
the
can't.
best season of the universe, or no,
And
excuse
y'all
me,
just
of the year.
usurp the entire month as your birthday. But I didn't even finish the intro. We
my bad.
are your two favorite serious and unserious millennials, posted up as the bridge generation between five generations who love to tussle. Every episode, we take you on a journey, trying to find that sweet spot that integrates the best of what all these generations have to offer. Will we build a bridge? Will we break one down? Which, Lauren, you want to kick us off? How you over there living?
You know, living large and in charge, baby.
It's big boy.
Big boy.
That's what she said.
See? But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about watching Babs, but that's not. Yeah, I think I might watch that tonight while I'm cleaning up some stuff.
I love it. When you said it's not, were you about to say it's sad because Natalie is gone?
Well, yeah, because I was thinking about her and I was like,
I love her.
I still, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. But otherwise, yeah, I'm feeling good. Did you see Do or Die and Twista put out a video for Do You after 22 years?
No, I didn't actually.
Do you? Yes, even though I'm in a one-sided beef with Twista for trying to be cute at a Fridays 10 years ago. I'll give him his 10s because the video was great. They had age appropriate video vixens. They were very much Chicago baddies.
I need to check this.
Yes. Only critique is that I could have stood in for Johnny P. They could have called me.
That's hilarious.
I put some little, straight backs in my head. I would have been crooning out there. But yes, it's very good. I'm gonna send it to Missy Elliott personally on Twitter and tell her to put out some videos
from old tracks.
A couple of my songs. Yes,
I love that. I also love this concept that you just introduced of one-sided beef with celebrities. I feel like we could do a whole segment on that because I too have some one-sided beef. But some of it is like also probably I should not say that on this platform because it's yeah, never mind. But I love that. I love that's very Lauren lore of you to share.
He tried to play me in a Fridays, G.
At TGF Fridays of all places.
Nigga.
Thou art humble. That's what you need to be. But truly, we are gonna jump right in to the episode. We got a lot to cover today.
A lot. If you've been here for a while, we like to kick things off with our Glow and Grow segment.
Yes. What is that?
What is it for our new listeners? First, thanks for joining us. Our Glow is an opportunity for us to share the positives, pop our shit. We are long distance besties, and we talk all the time, but we like to save a little bit to share with each other while we're recording the podcast, And so the Glow part is the good, and the Grow is not bad. It is a lesson because we do not take L's over here.
No.
We just a little knocks on the head fortify us, make us stronger. So with that being said, Lisa, would you like to start off with negativity or positivity?
Negativity.
Excellent.
Yeah. I thrive on that shit. No. So my grow is from this morning, actually. I need to grow up. Girl, why when I got to work today, I thought I was fired. My badge did not work to get into my office. And my dramatic ass always goes to like the most nonsensical, delusional worst case scenario. And so the picture came in my head. I don't know if you've seen it, but you know how in NFL, the players be finding out they got cut when they get to the practice facility and they try to get in, they shit don't work. And there'll be like video cameras set up outside to see them. It's so unnecessarily cruel. I don't know why y'all said that. It's very entertaining, but terrible. But I had that whole main character moment today at work. I was like about to Mariah Carey wall slide. I was like, but not me. I'm essential personnel. I am very important over here. So yeah, my shit didn't work. I was so confused because it wasn't even that the fob was like not reading. It was like red. And I was like, oh God. So the grow of that is that I was walking into the office just in time for the start of a meeting. And so I had to literally start the meeting locked outside my office, and it was very much giving boomer energy with fumbling my phone, accidentally turning I was just discombobulated and disheveled, and had to I was trying to DM my operations person at the same time because I was the only person in person today at my office. So I'm literally stuck outside. But I was like, bitch, did I get fired this weekend? And didn't nobody tell me? Like, why is my badge not working? So it's okay. That's why the lesson in that for me was twofold. Girl, don't be cutting it close and barely making it like that. I should have been 15 minutes. Go get settled. Your stuff start at 10. You should have been at your desk at 9:30. But see, that's me.
9:45 at the latest.
9:45. That was my greedy spirit who wanted a hash brown from McDonald's. So I embarrassed myself and had to humble myself and quickly problem solve.
I've been out here for 30 minutes trying to figure out.
No, because I wouldn't have been looking as crazy as I was if I had been out there for 30 minutes. So this is a cue to all the young babies who are listening, new professionals. You have to be, if you're going to be kind to anybody at your job, your concierge and the maintenance people, it was nothing. In less than 5 minutes, even though my shit was on do not disturb, Miss Joy let me right on into my office. Consuelo, she sent the man upstairs. Don't worry, baby, I got you. Speak to people, have respect, show kindness, sincerely, not in a recipe, not on a quid pro quo type vibe, but just be kind to people and it pays in dividends. So that was my grow.
Okay.
Don't cut it so close next time, Elisa.
Fair enough, friend. Fair enough.
What about you? Would you like to start negatively or positively?
Hey, I'll start negatively with you, friend. So I actually have two, but I'll make them quick. Okay. First one, which I've said many times, sleep hygiene was in the shitter this week. I feel like every other day I text you like, gee, I passed out on the couch, woke up at 3 a.m.
Yes. Your body literally went into automatic shutdown mode. It's going to reboot. Sorry.
And I did that last night and I had got up at 3 and then I wasn't necessarily because I have upstairs, right? Well, obviously, if you haven't been to my house, you don't know that. So when I wake up to use the bathroom, sometimes I can stay asleep because I know how to maneuver and get back in the bed. But walking up the stairs and into my room woke me up fully. So then I started reading. So I couldn't really go back to sleep till 5, but I had planned to get up at 6:30. So then I postponed it because technically I didn't have court until 9:30 and it was Zoom.
Gross.
So it spiraled out of control. And needless to say,
sounds like it.
I need to get to sleep and not have these little episodes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the other one was a petty negative, but a rookie mistake nonetheless. If you follow me on social media and look at my stories, you will see that yesterday I was at my chapter's picnic.
Yeah. Shout out to Theta Delta Core.
Shout out to Theta Delta. They dropped the core. That's a story for another time. But yes, it was Theta Delta Core when I was made, so it's Theta Delta Core forever. Shout out to Spring 10. But I forgot, I am firmly an old head at this point.
Yeah, squarely.
But, yeah, I wore sandals that did not have a little sport mode strap and had the nerve to be. We were strolling, but really and truly, TT was doing line dances and I couldn't really get down like I wanted to because my shoes kept sliding off and we was in a grove that had a lot of sticks.
Rookie mistake.
I was really upset. Rookie mistake.
Your toes over there throwing up gang signs right now.
Girl,
bless them.
Exactly. I'm like, I can't get no splinters. So I was like, all right, let me go sit my tail down. So yeah, so either have some gym shoes in your trunk or get you some shoes you can put in sport mode. So when you're at the cookouts and all the barbecues,
you can really learn them dances.
Exactly. Because we did flex and everybody don't do flex up here. And I knew it and I was ready to show people, but I couldn't really get down like I wanted to because my shoes were sliding off. I know. And I love that.
I need to get one line dance party in before the summer's over. I might make that my birthday party or some shit. I got to figure that out. Teach me all the line dances that I've missed this year.
The DJ did every single line dance you could think of. And I was like, sir.
Well, the Midwest, we are some strolling ass people. So
for sure. Yeah.
I love that. I love to see that you had a good time at the picnic.
I did.
We can talk about the other lore after in the post show. So my glow, my positive, I had so much. Okay, my glow, my glow is that I tricked off on my man. You know, I planned date night. I planned date night this Friday. It was so fun. We had a really crazy week. I've said that every week. We've been cutting it close, barely making it. But that's like, that's millennial, professional, going crazy, personal going crazy. Everything's ascending. We're building. And then you have to make time for yourself and your partner. So I planned date night. I bought these tickets to go see the doll, Alice Smith. If you are not into her, please.
That's why my arms crossed right now, chat. Because she ain't
I didn't tell you.
She ain't tell me she was going to see the doll. And I had to see it on Instagram with the commenters.
My God, it wasn't even on Close Friends. It was just like, hey, sold out show. I'm in this motherfucker. It was so fun. But it was and there was a new venue actually in DC. I think it was one of the first shows that they had, that she might have been one of the first performers at this venue. Really cute, really intimate. I mean, it might have been 400 people. It was like the most adorable space. But what I love about Alice Smith and her show specifically in DC is that she is a daughter of the district. She is a Washingtonian. Her family being there, heavy boots. It's like you always, anytime I've seen Alice Smith, I think it's been in DC. You can always tell her family because they have their own little section. And it's very much like, it be grannies in there in their church clothes. Like, oh, let me go see Myrtle's, you know, baby. The sweetest thing. And she just, I'm going to defer to the Legal Eagle if I can splice a little sample of a song in post-production, because we're talking about it. But
give some commentary about the song.
The commentary about the song is what made me want to wait to tell you about it till today. This was a very Lauren coded moment. And it was like her set for this small little tour is unplugged. It's just her and a pianist on a stage.
Okay.
Incredible. So she closes the show with her rendition of I Put a Spell on You by Nina Simone. There's this tribute album from 2015 that all these artists kind of covered different Nina Simone arrangements. And Alice has this enchanting, haunting, beautiful rendition of I Put a Spell on You. And it's a very witchy song, right?
It is.
So she sings. Well, you don't know what song she's about to perform. She's like talking and riffing to the crowd. And she's like, at this portion of the show, I like to invite our angels into the room. And I'm not even picking up what she's putting down yet. It was very much giving when you watch scary movies and you be like, they just playing, Lord. They just playing, Lord. Or when you press mute because they about to say the demon's name. It was very Lauren coded. She was like, oh, no. I don't play with spells. I just sing about them. I don't know nothing about that. It was so funny. I was screaming, literally screaming, like, no, she did not. This was very my best friend coded. So that made me immediately think of you. And so, yeah, we had a beautiful night. More. Yeah, she's amazing.
Because that song is spooky ooky.
It is very spooky. And then when she sings it now, she be like putting her little fingers up. Like she looked like Cynthia Erivo a little bit. But Cynthia really is about that. She really looks like
she looked like a oogie boogie spooky ooky.
So yes,
by choice.
Oh my God. So yes, I had the best time. And Alice Smith, if she ever comes to sing in a venue near you, you better put your little ducats together and go enjoy the doll. She's just a vocalist unlike anyone else. And I love seeing her in DC because that's her hometown. It's her home crowd. Her family be there. And she really just brings a special element of herself to the show. So next time, best friend.
Weeping. Like that time we went to see Jasmine Sullivan? Yeah. I'm not embarrassed anymore, but I remember you Ariel just looking at me like it was uncontrollable. I could not do anything but cry. It was so beautiful.
I know. I love that. Another Jasmine has a track on that album as well. She has a cover of Baltimore by Nina Simone. And it goes like, those are two of my favorite tracks actually on that whole album. So the girls sing down. Yeah. Same. My all right. Well, what is your glow, my love?
Yeah, so my glow, a little bit, it's a continuation, or I guess the positive side of my grow, in that this weekend was all about me spending time with my family and my chosen family. So my great aunt D, she turned 80.
That's amazing.
Saturday,
Yeah.
I think. And they had a big party for her. She's so cute. I just love my auntie and my Uncle Eddie, which he's passed. He's passed for
This
some
is your
years now.
granny's sister? This your grandma's sister?
No. So
Okay.
funny. It's my granny's sister-in-law, but they
Oh,
all
okay.
grew up around each other. And so, like, you know, there's just a
Yeah, it's
technicality.
auntie.
Yeah. But she is wonderful, just full of life. And when I was growing up, I spent a lot of time with her and my Uncle Eddie.
Mhm.
And I just really like her. I mean,
Mhm.
she's funny because she's very old school. Like, you know, when Randy and Maggie, which was my brother and sister, when they finally got married, she's like, I'm glad y'all not shacking up no more. And like, it's just very decoded. But yeah, she
That's
looked
very
beautiful.
silent generation coded, period. Because they don't believe in that. Nah.
No. And it's just so funny because you'll be
Make
like,
an honest woman out of that girl.
Right. And you should come up, give you a hug. Hey, baby, how you doing? Look so good. And then just tell you something that you have been feeling in the sweetest way. You just got to be like, you're right, Andy. I'm going to make sure I do that. But yeah, now it was a glow in that, well, no, ADHD with my ass. I showed up to the party in the last hour. And not only did I show up in the party in the last hour, I showed up in a bright neon pink dress. And guess what? My aunt asked everybody to wear black, white, and gold.
You didn't know?
My daddy didn't pass it down the line.
Damn.
So
That's embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
I could have melted into the floor because I was already embarrassed that I was there at the last hour of the party due to my hair, which my hair turned out phenomenal, but that's neither here nor there. Yikes. But then I show up and I'm looking around the room and I'm like, why? So then I literally took off in flight and I just tried to find a seat in the back because I did not want anybody to see me in the pink. And my dad was like, "Who stand out?" And I'm like, "Sir, you're not making it better because you were supposed to tell me." He was like, my bad. And I look crazy. And normally I would wear black, but I just didn't want to iron the dress that I had in mind. So I just threw on something that I didn't need to iron. I looked fabulous and I got lots of compliments. But it took me a good 30 minutes. Let the embarrassment wash off.
I get you. So you can enjoy yourself. And
yes,
the fact that your family don't care. They just was there to see you.
And they were actually really surprised I was there, which is interesting. But yeah, but I got to see my cousins. So after that, me and my younger cousins and some of my older ones too, we went to my other cousin's house that lived like 20 minutes away.
A little after party. And we just got to catch up and we said we're gonna do a young cousin thing because technically I was the oldest there.
Okay. Which is always so my oldest cousin, she works like a really early shift. So she left earlier than I did. So I was left like the big cuz. But it was cool hanging out with them and just the prospect of us now that we're like grown and have had all these experiences. And just trying to keep the family bond strong.
Which is important.
It is. And I just love my cousins. So that was cool. And then spending time with my chapter. I make a point to get to know all the young sorors because I think we up to like 2024 or something. And we crossed in spring 10. So I try, like, I used to be on the picnic committee, so that was a way for me to work with the youngins. I gracefully stepped down this year. But I follow most of them on Instagram, so I keep in touch, and I love those little girls. Well, no offense, y'all grown women, and y'all
we get it.
Right,
y'all are young women, y'all adults
to me.
Yeah,
but they're so cute, and they're good people. So I just like being a big sister that I received from some, and then what I wish I would have received from others.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so it was a great time. And the mantle was passed, and I felt like it was great.
Awesome.
With the new one. So, that was my goal.
That's so sweet. That's what it's all about. Preserving those recipes and building on them, improving on them.
Improving, yes.
And so we can be a good example for them to understand how they're supposed to treat the next generation. Of little cousins and baby sorors and all that good stuff. That's beautiful. You look happy. You look full. And I think spending time with family edifies you in that way. So I'm very happy that even with work being crazy, you look like you're pouring from a full cup, a vessel.
Yes. And I got to see my babies. I got my auntie shirt today.
Oh, I haven't my T-shirt on too.
Oh,
It says somebody's aunt. Yes. Shout out to my Shug, my line sister Adrian. Her mom makes custom design. She made this for us when somebody had a baby and we would turn into aunties. It's like a little auntie line jacket. So
sweet.
Look, we were synced up. Look at us. Alignment. Oh. So
seeing Dylan and then Leah and
Nunu.
Nunu. But no, I was like talking about Dylan's picture yesterday. It was one of the highlights of my day. He was so cute and happy.
He gave you the millennial peace sign.
Right. And I was like, look at him. He think he made.
We're keeping the recipes alive over here.
Yes.
My babies put up the deuce in their pictures. I love it.
But yeah, so it was funny. And, talk to my little two kids over here, and they crazy. But they're so much fun. Like, legitimately. I don't know. I feel like I'm probably biased, but I think this generation of kids are much funnier than past. Like, it takes them longer to get funny. Like, these kids is like under 5 and they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Like now,
they're
like
funny.
on some ha ha ha, but like no, they actually are funny. They get like the context of jokes. Like they troll. It's a hoot. Now, maybe not for you so much, but as an auntie that does not take them home.
No, that's fair.
I love it.
Yeah. Dylan told me that tonight. He said, Mommy, come get your baby. Because I'm like, what? What? Your brother Dylan, Aiden was doing something he ain't like. He was like, Lisa, come get your baby. I was cracking up. But, I love them so much. Well, that was beautiful. We glowed, we grew, and now we're going to transition to, well, girl, what is going on? It is our Hot Topics segment where we decompress and talk a little bit about things happening in pop culture, current events, and honestly, check in real time to see what the other is feeling about what's happening in the week of going on. So this week, you're going to start us off, right? What's the first topic you have for the group?
The first topic is that the U.S. has again, because this is not the first time, been highlighted on a watch list maintained by a global alliance nonprofit called Civicus to draw attention to serious concerns regarding the exercise of civil liberties here in America. So they said, and this is a quote, the United States appears to be sliding deeper into the quicksands of authoritarianism. Jesus.
Authoritarianism. It's okay. That word fought back. It's okay.
Yeah, hands and feet. Peaceful protests are confronted with military force. Critics are treated as criminals. Journalists are targeted. And support for civil society and international cooperation has been cut back. And so, they're just talking about it's just been 6 months into his term, and it's just been a bizarre assault on all of our fundamental freedoms and all the constitutional safeguards that, was just, as we see now, a gentleman's agreement on paper, because it's very much like,
it's giving, who's going to enforce this?
Right.
Who's going to make me? Who's going to make me do it, girl?
Absolutely. They actually put us on the list in March, which is wild boots, because that was only 3 months into it. Well, not even.
It has felt like 80. It's felt like 82 years. I don't know how this has only been 6 months.
For real. And so they have varying levels of like where you fall on the watch list. And we are currently at the narrowed level, which is just one under the like alert. And narrowed is for countries where the democratic freedoms, such as freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association are increasingly violated. And right now, there are 42 countries in the world with this rating. And yeah, it's a pretty big deal that, we keep seeing more and more the Republicans, but especially Donald Trump, just encroaching on rights that we have had in this country for forever. And it's just kind of like an afterthought. And in support, a lot of it, which we're going to talk about as we move on through the segment, or that is just to keep him in power.
Yeah.
They realize now, even though on Truth Social, which is
his platform,
social media platform that he owns, which is a problem.
They made Jimmy Carter give up his peanut farm.
Right. And this dude, I was going to call him. He
all
got
types.
shoes, watches. He got a meme coin. He got
coins.
this damn social media platform. All of these things are not okay. But again, gentleman's agreement on paper is what the Constitution is at this point, so it does not matter. But yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm afraid, because at this point it's like, what can you do? But I am very quite concerned. Like right now, life still seems somewhat normal, but as all of these institutions just erode,
Yeah,
I don't know what life is gonna look like. It's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary.
It's like we're inching our way towards authoritarianism. Like he just fired the Department of Labor statistics.
Yeah, because they put out a job report that was
that he didn't like. And so now we are losing complete confidence in even understanding the statistics and the facts about our own economy. And that erodes trust in a way that isn't just, oh, that's unfortunate. Like it has real implications to like the stock market and how people plan and how entire industries are structured. So, you know, clown games, clown prizes. But unfortunately, even those of us who did what we were supposed to do
have to suffer the consequences.
Yep.
Which is why, although I don't play with God, y'all are on my roots list. But yeah, I'm just like, and then what really grinds my gears is I still see people trying to say like, oh, well, the Democrats just need to fight harder. And disrespectfully, y'all need to hop off the tallest building. Y'all are not helpful.
Oh, now you're encouraging self-harm and ideation.
I sure am. Please, leave. You're never going to find the utopia here in America, especially not now, baby. Go on
the perfect candidate does not exist. It does not exist.
Because the way we're going to be fighting tooth and nail for things that we've had in this generation, all of our black, or well, not all of y'all ain't black, but all of our lives, we're going to have to fight back to get those things that were established for us. We were supposed to be progressing and getting more.
Yes, not fighting to reclaim
what we already
the same level of rights for our daughters, our nieces. I'm thinking, because today we're talking about sexual and reproductive health on the main stage. So my mind is honestly even going straight to like, my nieces don't even have the same level of rights that I had as a teenager. And that's
not okay.
You know, that
just
honestly,
go ahead. I'm sorry, boo.
No, I was just going to say it takes us into the next topic, which is what I actually, it's giving me a look. It's reinvigorated your girl a little bit. The Texas Dems are fighting back. This story has made me so excited. So, girl,
you know I love a little fisticuffs.
Me too. Fight back. First of all, stand up, y'all. Well, not even just JB. We'll get there. We're not there yet. We'll get there. So the background, there's basically a political standoff in Texas. So in seeing that, okay, I'm not very popular and Congress is really dysfunctional. And I bet the 2026 election might actually shift the House in the favor of the Democrats. So what did that crooked criminal do? He hooked up with the governor of Texas, Hot Wheels, and they said, you know what we can do? We can carve out some extra seats. So they, in a session this July, the Texas state legislature basically created a new map. They gerrymandered the hell out of Texas, carved up all these little Lego pieces, which would effectively give 5 additional congressional seats to the GOP, right, to the Republicans. And so before voting on this, they have a majority. As if this is called to order to vote on, it's going to be the new map for Texas, and it'll shift potential returns for 2026 to make sure Trump can again consolidate power and keep a hold on having no checks and balances. But what did the Texas Dems do? Well, chat, these mugs flew the coop, okay? They said, oh no, we're fleeing the state. And so 50 Democratic Texas House members have left Texas, meaning there is no quorum for them to even vote on this measure. Yes. Y'all ate that thing. Y'all ate that one little thing. So legally, They took the ball, basically. They took their ball and they left.
Went home. Well, went to their grandma's house down south.
Went to their grandma
up north.
Right. So they're on a run. This is the thing. They've tried this before, but they effectively, in 2021, I believe, they ran out of money. They ran out of political. It was a very different time in our country. This was the first term of Trump.
Right.
Actually, no, 2021 is Trump was out of office in 2020. Right. So 2021 was the first year of Big Daddy Biden. So what they did not expect this time is that them motherfuckers have flew the coop to places like Massachusetts, New York, and the land of milk and honey with big bank take little bank, JB motherfucking Pritzker, who owns the Hyatt brand of big money. Talking about these Dems are good till the cows come home. They basically just need to stay out of the state until the end of the year. And what that means for democratic norms is yet to be seen because everything's getting real shaky. But I appreciate that they're fighting back.
Exactly.
And that's not without contempt, because what Governor Greg Abbott, a little Hot Wheel, said, he done put the Texas Rangers and the Department of Public Safety out on them. He has warrants out for their arrest. He is trying to pull every little stunt he can.
He said he was going to try to vacate their seats, which he cannot do.
Cannot do. And it will take so much time to sue them all 50 of them, and then have an open election. So even it's all political theater at this point, but you don't have quorum and you're not going to vote on that shit. And that billionaire governor who's up there in Illinois with the open checkbook to stand behind those Democrats who are doing the right thing and in this dogfight, girl, it's a wrap. So I'm really curious to see how this evolves, what happens, and what precedent this sets. Because I think the GOP thinks when they play dirty, baby, you ain't the only one who can change the rules too. And when that pendulum swings the other way, and California is carving up, and you'd have a net zero, ain't no Republicans representing the state of California now. Now what?
Because Governor Two-Face will absolutely do it. Okay? He already said, y'all try that goofy shit in Texas.
You want to be funny, I'll be hilarious. Okay?
Which, I do think he's a clout demon. However, I do like that he's willing to do that. And so I'm with it, Governor Newsom. You should just do it anyway, just off the fact that they was talking about it.
Yep.
Show them. You can show them better. You can tell them.
Everything is so unhinged in this space because we are dealing with a very unprecedented, spooky ass demon.
Corrupt.
Okay.
We just have to cast him out. Yes. Go, Beelzebub.
You saw that video when that demon tried to leap out of him? I'm about to slice that right.
When he was the Bill Cosby. Remember when Bill Cosby did fucking out?
No, that was demonic. That was some warfare. Somebody in that audience said the blood of Jesus, and that demon tried to leave.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know how this is going to end for Texas, but I think we need to understand that the fight back is what's being lauded, and because we ain't got to sit down and take this beating and be a bunch of losers. Oh, I guess we're gonna follow the rules. Oh, we're gonna do the right thing because the right thing is the right thing to do, girl.
Right. No, and I also just want to say that I have been cackling. This is not, well, it's kind of related, but how in New York they are really pushing for Hakeem.
Hakeem
Corey.
Jeffries. Corey's in New Jersey. Corey's out of Newark.
So is it Corey?
Well, I think Hakeem and Corey are you talking about to actually endorse Madani?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was Hakeem.
I've seen both of them being pushed to be like, hey, are you ready to actually throw your support behind him now that he's a nominee? And everybody's getting cute and mute.
And he's like, good luck to New York elections. I wish y'all the best. But yeah, everybody, and it's not every man, woman, child for themselves, but we need to be one band, one sound.
Yeah.
And if you are not going to be on one accord with the overall big tent, then you might end up being left out in the cold. But I do, like you said, Lisa, I love that they are trying to fight back, because if Texas, if them Republicans are able to do what they plan to do, there will only be one district that will include all the Black and brown people, and they will have virtually no representation. Representation. And
that has national implications as well as for the autonomy of Texas and all of which is a majority Black, brown, and Asian state.
Sorry, which you would never know.
White people are not the majority in Texas.
Yeah, and that for truly, and a lot of states in the South, that's the case. But they just gerrymander, yes. Right? Yeah, and it's really unfortunate. But I'm hoping that this will inspire more courage by people just taking a stand and doing what they can.
The principal thing, and let me tell you, I know JB got his pockets ain't never gonna end compared to ours. But whoever, if you know a Texas Dem that done made their way to Chicago, I personally would like to treat them to their first 6-wing fried hard, extra salt, pepper, mild sauce with a pepper on the side, because I want you to just ease into it.
And a good mystic.
A good mystic. The grape, strawberry grape. I want you to get comfortable in Chicago, because your ass ain't going nowhere for a little bit. You ain't going nowhere, baby. All right?
You ain't going nowhere.
Hit us up.
Enjoy the Chris Kendall Market. You're gonna be here for a while, but that's great, because
we can make the itinerary for you. Just get cozy, and we thank you for your service.
Right. In 2021, that's why they left. They didn't have enough money.
They ran out of money.
So, because I think he's finding them like $500 a day for every day that they aren't there. So
there is a daily fine, but I think it's it's like he warned them about a potential removal from office and a $500 daily fine if they use campaign funds to pay for anything. And he actually demanded. Yeah. So there's some contingencies around that 500, but even still, I'm like, what's a king to a mob?
Right, exactly.
What is 500 a day for JB?
We're gonna learn who a real billionaire is in this country. Okay. And I hate to even be celebrating that, but for this, we gonna learn today. Trump always want to inflate his numbers. You could quite literally never. And then he could set all of them up in the highest, like, whatever, put this on my account. And then ain't gotta pay for nothing. So God bless JB. So
if y'all need a per diem, I would like to contribute my little $10 to the bucket, because this is about collective active. I want y'all to understand, this is the type of carrying on that we gonna support. Okay, you want to fight back? We got you. Catfish nuggets on me. Okay,
over here. Yes,
we're scrappy. Well, yes, that was fun. That was to counter the U.S. is in peril, but there is some fight back left in the dolls. So let's get in this. Let's get in this dog fight. What you got next, Lolo?
All right. Speaking of a dog fight, next I am gonna tell you guys about Des Bryant versus Onika Mirage.
Girl, I hope you keep this one fast, because that lady is on the sick and shut in list.
She is on the. That's so funny, because I was actually gonna say, well, granted, never mind. We need to put her on the sick and shut in list. If you believe in praying, if you believe in the power of prayer, you need to pray for Sister Nicki Minaj, because she is battling demons. But in any event, Des Bryant is speaking out because Micah Parsons, who is a player on the Dallas Cowboys, was trying to get paid a certain amount. They was playing with him. Jerry Jones ain't want to pay him. Des started speaking out against him, basically like, you know what it is, Jerry, quit playing. And then I guess one of Nicki's minions, Jerry Jones, they mentioned like all this stuff, and somehow Jay-Z came up. Well, I guess they knew that it was NFL. So then she came to what's that child name? She came up to Des, or like over his little tweet.
Oh, Desiree Perez? No, Des Bryant. Sorry, we're back to Des Bryant, not Desiree. Okay.
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
So she was basically like, you want to play a game, and you give stories about Jerry Jones. I'll tell you stories about the corruption and stuff I've seen in this industry. And so then he responds with the Saul thing, like, let's play a game, say like, because he
so
really
we basically have two Arkham Asylum patients on Twitter. Going band for band is what this sounds like. This is giving involuntary. No. Okay,
I ain't gonna do that to Dez. Now, granted, I feel like last season we did kind of get into Dez ass a little bit
for something. I'm trying to remember what
I can't remember. Well, I know for sure he endorsed Kanye, which I was just disgusted by, but I don't know if maybe it has something to do with child support. But nevertheless, Des has been on our sick and shut in list at one point too. But this time he really just itching for a way to talk about how corrupt Jerry Jones and them was. So that's what he thinking Nicki talking about. So then after he says he wants to play the game, she's like, okay, but if we play the game, every time you do a Jerry Jones or NFL story time, I'm gonna do a story of my own, and and it's going to be about Jay-Z and Desiree Perez or whatever. And he was basically like, yeah, so she was like, so I hope you fully understand the rules. It's your turn. So then which Dad's looking kind of cute these days, but that's neither the point. So he recorded a video like, hello, Miss Minaj. I'm a big fan of yours. I don't want none of that, none of those problems. You have a great day.
That's funny.
God bless you. He makes that video. He put the little prayer hands and the little
That's
laughing
hilarious.
emoji.
Okay, I'm laughing. That's funny.
He goes on about his day. So then she responds to him, it's Mrs. Petty, because he said Mrs. Minaj. And she's like, this came across my desk. And it's a clipping that was him talking about Nicki Minaj in 2020. So then she's like, you thought I was going to let that shit go? You thought I wasn't going to get on your ass? Or wasn't nobody really trying to talk about you? And then she told him, I'd mind my business if I were you. Now, mind you, Des was talking to Jerry Jones. She hopped on his tweet. So keep track of what's going on. So then after she sent that, she got the screenshots of him. He tweeted over that and was just like, go enjoy your day, man. So then she escalated it again and was like, go beat your mom, and then asked Desiree Perez and Jay-Z why they allegedly been vile cunts. They've been to so many black people while lining their own pockets and weaponizing racism in order to keep black people blinded from their truth. Why wasn't Desiree Perez's pardon by President Trump publicized by the black community and hip-hop culture the way that Lil Wayne's was? Did she repay the president for the monumental blessing, or did she betray him the way Jay-Z allegedly betrayed the Democratic Party and countless others that he's had business dealings with in the past? On second thought, don't beat your mom. I'm sure she loved you once. This tweet is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only.
I'm not entertained. I would like to fast forward because this sounds ridiculous.
So Des then goes, say, bitch, I didn't go to jail or touch my mama. I was defending myself.
Jesus.
I removed her nails from my skin. Folks know I was dealing with some corrupt shit in Dallas. I don't get how you even on the internet with your husband being a sex offender. You said we are speaking facts, weird hoe. So come on. So then he had a screenshot of Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, sentenced to 1 year house arrest.
Jesus.
Okay, but it gets better here. She says, I'm so happy you brought this up. I'll give you $10 million in cash if you come and fight him since you beat your own mom. All capital letters. God. He was lied on 31 years ago while both of them were 16, and there's proof. That's why they couldn't get the money they desperately needed and sued for. Now you, on the other hand, was beating your mother as an adult. Bigfoot has a brand new weird case as an adult. If you don't know, Bigfoot is her code name for Meg because she's scared to say her real name. Then she said Jay-Z dodging a paternity test that could prove he fucked a teen as an adult. Desiree Perez beating her daughter and calling her black son-in-law a nigger with the hard R as an adult, falsely had her own daughter institutionalized. As an adult, lied and said her child was on drugs. As an adult, in parentheses, this tweet is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. As a matter of fact, let me go call President Trump and ask for a pardon like Desiree Perez did.
All right. I'm really...
No.
Oh my God, you have more.
There's more.
Jesus.
He goes on to say that he's been lied on his whole career. I'm not trying to hear all that shit. I thought we were speaking facts. I don't play all that funny shit. Go get that $10 million in cash. I'll stump that nigga out right in front of you. And it's rock for life, bitch. Oh my God. Man. Obviously, Nicki stopped right after that because...
Excellent. That's the best judgment she's practiced this entire exchange.
I believe her husband might be 5'8",
and not a professional athlete, and he's probably 50 years old, and not about to keep up with no professional athlete who's an NFL All-Star.
Right. And like Des, absolutely. And it was so funny because like throughout him responding to her, he's like typing like, I'm talking about football. I don't know what she on. I think something is wrong with her. Y'all need to pray for her. He went on live like, Nicki, you're ruining your legacy. I told you I was a fan. Stop it. And then he was like, Jay-Z, I hope you're having a great day, pimp. And so he just said all this stuff.
Antagonizing her, which at this point, she inserted herself into the mess. So I can't even really, I ain't got beef with him. I'm not even mad at him. I take back what I said about two psych patients. Because he was just defending himself. Granted, I don't care all that shit she was talking about.
No. But the fallout from it
really mental at this point. And I don't even know if it's drugs and
I think
or
it's drugs and like psychosis.
other,
I think something is wrong with her, truly. But Dragonfly Jones was like, can you imagine her dude waking up and she like, hey, guess what? So you gotta fight this nigga a little bit. You gotta fight this nigga a little bit, but you know, no sweat, no sweat.
And you're gonna lose $10 million.
And you're gonna lose $10 million.
And your coin. That's hilarious. That's, you know what?
It has been so funny.
Go with God, Onika.
Go with God.
I ain't got nothing for you, girl.
Stop antagonizing people because you lose every single time.
And I hope because that lady gets every coin from this, the civil suit about this. Because at this point, you keep bringing up his victim and you keep
calling her a liar. When there are judicially noticed facts that say that she isn't, which is why you are being sued currently. And it's not a joke. It's not a game. She might be doing this because she broke as hell and don't have no money to pay. So it's like, come get whatever you can.
I think that's another part of it. She very much is giving broke. Like, baby probably stole all her money. Those terrible deals that they had structured or never gave it to her. Exactly. Right. I think that she is probably just
which that
projecting.
Would make me go crazy too.
Yeah, but a lot of the smoke she has for Rock Nation is like, girl, that's very much a YMCMB issue that ain't got nothing to do with Jigga. But
no, and leave Megan alone. She ain't thinking about
that ain't have nothing. She's over there with Clay having the best time with her little nerd ass nigga, and I love that for her.
Wait, he said, babe, wake up. You got to fight Des Bryant because I don't like Jay-Z. Long story, I'll explain the car. A crazy person.
That's so funny.
Nikki just set up her 5'8", 170-pound non-athlete husband to fight a 6'2", 220-pound former NFL dude. Dude was probably just chilling. Now he has to fight a nigga completely out his weight class. I mean... just go look, friends. It's all over Twitter. And what's that one? The butterfly, the sky, blue sky of people just making jokes. But
that's hilarious. I intentionally ignored. I think she might be blocked. I don't follow her, so I just will see the recaps of things. But that's crazy.
I saw Dez's tweet saying that if she bring the 10 million in cash, she'll stump that nigga out in front of her. So then I had to go back and see how did we get here, and I was crying because quite literally she brought all of this on herself. And Dez wasn't wrong.
That is a mental health thing. You cannot paint yourself to be the victim when you are indeed the aggressor. But
exactly,
she'll learn. Whew, that was funny.
Hilarious.
I take that back, Des. You ain't really do nothing wrong in this example. I can't even hold you.
All right, boo.
Let me think. Next on the docket, I'll keep this one real quick. I'm just curious what your response is. We wanted to talk a little bit about Kamala Harris coming back into the chat with this book tour for 107 days. The doll she made her debut back with, I guess, public media on the Stephen Colbert Show. And it was a really impressive interview. I personally think how she's being advised, how she's structuring this pivot is masterful. I think it's brilliant for her to kind of go on this.
She working with the Luther strategies on the low?
Who knows?
That's what it sounds like to me. That sounds like an NDA situation.
For her
I know somebody that could do that.
With this really brilliant, I am now an outsider to the system who wants to go on this tour in a non-transactional way, engage with voters and engage with us as just, I was a civil servant for my full career, and now I'm a GDI like everybody else. And this shit is totally crazy. And the system is not working. It's a great message to kind of position herself as external. And now she's able to kind of do the critiques that she could not do in those 107 days out of loyalty, out of whatever, all of the things that kind of held her back. She's kind of shaking that loose. And I'm very excited to see what the future has. I think there's a lot of conversation to be had about what this means, what people heard. Well, of course, I think it was when she announced she wasn't running for California governor that kind of was also the launch for this, because people were like, oh, what else do you have in mind? So, I think the obvious question is, will she, won't she, if there is an open election
which I
right in
don't think there
2028.
will be, and don't seem like she does either. Which that's what I loved about her Stephen Colbert interview. Well, one, I love that I went on TikTok and the kids were like, Kamala Harris taught me some new words: capitulation and feckless. And I was
that.
like,
Come
y'all
on,
better learn some
vocabulary.
words.
Yes.
Right. And I love capitulate. Ooh, I love it. I like to call it, you weak bitches. I love to put that in my little briefs. Like, it's my favorite word.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, she called you some of bitches that's supposed to be upholding the guardrails of government some hoes. And
Yep.
I loved it. I loved it. She said y'all are feckless. Y'all are jellybacks. Y'all let that man stump on y'all for nothing because he will get you to do whatever he wants.
And discard you.
Exactly.
Out of the next breath.
I mean, I could go down a whole list of y'all that was brown nosing and now y'all ass out with no profits. But yes, I just love that she called them some hoes. And she said,
in the classiest, most refined and dignified way.
Exactly. I wish I could be her like code switch
her
translator.
anger translator.
Not even anger, because she's real cool about it. Like, y'all fucked up because I'm out the system now.
Yeah.
And I think she's gonna start telling people the real. I am super excited. I'm hoping that she will correct some of the smear campaign that was on her and her record and like what
she has time to now. She can do it at her own pace in a way that is not in a pressure cooker,
like a crunch, right? And then also where people can assign it as like, oh, she's just doing
she's
this
only doing this to do that
votes. Yeah, no, she's doing that because this has been my life's work. I am Kamala for the people,
and I'm not gonna let you hoe ass niggas slander me and all of my good work, okay? Because the work was good.
It was good. And if you read her first book, you can learn so much more about her upbringing, and just her political career, her public service career.
Yeah.
And so I'm just really looking forward to 107 Days, just because I want to know more about like what went through her mind. Like, I also truly
unprecedented, Madam Vice President, girl, you were beauty and grace under fire, okay, and brilliance at that. So,
and lost to a complete idiot, so
a buffoon.
A buffoon. He don't deserve to breathe the same air as her. Okay. But I'm just hoping that in the book she drops her favorite curse word, which is also my favorite curse word. I want to see the Kamala that Doug get to see, because they
be having a time together, those two.
I know.
And her sister. I'm excited to see what this means for her. And I think that there's a conversation to be had about someone who I am close to was like, what this means about her potentially running. They was like, I don't know what that comes with. She's such a good person. I don't want that for her, right? Like, what is going to come with if she does decide to run? And I have a counter argument. Same with Hillary Clinton. I need the baddest heifers on the floor. I need the dogs. I need the baddest. That's a reference to
Didi the dolls,
the dancing dolls.
Yes. Yeah.
I need the baddest heifers on the floor. I'm sorry to tell you, girl, I know you deserve to live a beautiful, easeful life, but this country right here is in crisis.
We need you. We need you.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
As long as Hillary is still in the land of the living, put her on something, because we need her too.
Yeah, and I need you to these people need to be strung from their toes, and I want the lint out their pockets. They need to be in jail and broke for all of these derelicts of society.
The alligator Alcatraz down there,
right?
The
cleanup
Florida.
job. If we do ever get to have a free and open election, and if there ever is a pendulum swung back to where the Democrats have a full control of the branches of government, we need to do what they did not do in the Civil War and make sure these bitches never get a chance
we need to
do this shit again.
Germany style.
Yes.
They know we're going to eradicate this bullshit.
Y'all going to be running to the border. Okay.
Right. Y'all gonna be where did the Nazis go? They went to
Argentina.
Brazil,
Yeah, they down there still.
Y'all gonna have to do what y'all gotta do somewhere else, because y'all ain't gonna be no country for y'all no more.
No.
Yes, that's what I dream about on a daily basis. Because I'm just gonna keep praying that comes to pass, because
it's too much.
We need to learn.
I enjoyed it. I'm really excited to see what the trajectory is for this new season for her and this book tour. And, to see this side of Madam Vice President.
Me too,
So, yeah.
Me too.
And then you have one more topic for us for Woo Girl before we go to the main. Oh, we can't go to the main stage before we talk about, I love men. Okay.
Glad
I always
you remember,
forget.
Boo.
Clearly, that's her favorite. That's somebody's favorite segment, and that's somebody else's. Like again.
Yeah, again. God damn it! It's my It's my shit, and I could do what I want. Oh, it's a song, something like that. But anyway, this one is super cute. I saw it today while I was perusing the net. It is directly linked to our thesis of just having intergenerational conversations.
Yes, and community building.
And community, right?
Yeah.
And so what this is that there is an intergenerational summer camp in a Southern California suburb where grandmas are in charge. So every week they teach a group of 8 to 14-year-olds how to cook a new dish, do a handicraft such as sewing, embroidery, clay jewelry, card marking. It's so cute. There is a twofold. It's the summer camp, but it's a part of a larger organization that a young girl in high school created. Well, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but basically she was saying that our elders suffer from isolation and loneliness, and just having the love of younger people around them. So she created this nonprofit that would allow young folks to come into the senior citizens and buildings just to get to know them. And after that, it kind of expanded into this camp. It's in Fullerton, which is, I guess, is in Orange County, which has a very large Arab population. And so many of the campers are, Arab, and it's their grandmas, but they just have so many different conversations. One girl, little girl, was like, honestly, I'm just here for the food. But they said that she was holding up the fabric because they were making pockets this particular day, and she was really proud of the pockets that she made. Others were just like, this is actually something that was really easy, and I'm glad that I have this skill because I can use it. And they were talking about how the grandmas would just talk about this is a time when you could use these skills. You don't just have to make it for pockets, all of that. So they were just very excited about that.
That's some applied learning. I love that. Exactly, and creative problem solving, which is something that the youth need direct support with. I love that.
Yes. And I love that there's a practicum for them too. Because it's not enough just to tell them. You have to show them.
Yeah.
And so, so they also, the article talked about how they structure it, which as a former teacher, and especially I love doing these type of real world type of activities. They just kind of broke down the curriculum and how
so cute.
They start, and they show them all the tools that they're going to use, and tell them the name of it and why you need them. And and it was really cool because they also talked to some of the grandmothers that were my grandkids aren't close, so this gives me an opportunity to be around kids. And so it's just very sweet.
That is sweet.
And I love that the kids see the value because, as I mentioned earlier, this got started because a young girl named Lena Albanali she started what was called a Golden Connections Club, which was to foster interactions between teens and elders. Because she lives with her grandparents. And so she was used to, having those type of
multi-generational living, which is, very different from, that's not common right now.
Not at all. And she knew that her peers didn't. So she was trying to give everybody the best of both worlds. And then it just has grown and grown.
I love that they see that it's bi-directional in the benefit. It is mutually beneficial to all of us involved. That is the whole point of community.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I was really excited.
Mashallah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they have variations of this around the country, but
maybe not.
I'm
curious.
Yeah. So if you are one of those people who are interested in bridging the gap, and you can do that now. You can.
That's a very
go
cool
to your
model.
Local. It's very cool, and it can always be about something that everybody is comfortable doing. You just say, hey, what do you like to do? And you can just show it to some kids. So it could be something that I think has a little overhead, or you can absolutely work with the library, or you can go to your local village hall, to get funds. So I think that it's a great idea. I'm excited. I have always been I care about the babies and elders.
Yeah.
All of my friends, you know, I come over their houses and stuff. I usually always talk to their grandparents. Even my family, I had an aunt. But one time, the whole family left me at the table listening to her, and she kept telling the story over and over and over again. And I'm looking around, and then I saw everybody slowly love that I loved her, and she just kept telling the story.
Funny.
So yeah, our elders, they need us, they love us, and they do have quite a bit of wisdom. So
yes,
shout out to them. I also wanted us to kind of end on a great note, despite
that's really positive.
all the foolishness of this country, because
you know, the babies are our future. So I love that they're finding value and making those connections. That's positive.
Yes,
well,
me too.
Thank you, friend.
All right. Of course, of course.
On to your favorite.
On to the next, which I love to call, and I'm just kidding, it is called I Love Men. Again, hey, new listeners. If you're new here, my name's Lauren. I am the resident fine nigga anthropologist on this here Bridges and Breakdowns podcast. What that means is my ADHD hyperfixation moments. If I run across a man that is very attractive, it could be television, it could be just a random everyday man, I add him to this list that I have been categorizing for some time of just attractive fellas. And with that list, I put the names in the randomizer. I pick them. I also select the pictures that I think show the essence and the reason why I put them on the list. And I send that to Eliza for her to review and rate them 1 through 10. Like Keith Lee.
I tried it.
Rate it. 1 through 10.
Here we go. All right.
And so without further ado, I had... he's so fine. I couldn't stop taking pictures. I couldn't stop taking pictures, G. So
we about to make this segment quick.
No, you're gonna be looking at Google Gaga. So the man of the day, the fine nigga of the day is Carlos Sainz. Don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. Carlos Sainz is a Spanish racing driver who competes in Formula One for Williams. He has won 4 Formula One Grand Prix.
This ain't the fine nigga of the day biography. Send me the pictures. All that yapping.
I sent it. Go ahead. I'm telling the listeners who he is.
Oh, okay.
At least I hope I sent it to you.
Oh, yeah. It just came through.
Okay. Anyway, listeners, while she's doing her perusal, he is a Formula One driver and a self-described smooth operator. And that he is with his fine ass.
Where do you be finding these? Where do you find these niggas?
First of all,
you don't even watch racing. How did you find him?
Occasionally I do. You know, anytime I know there's some Negroes and stuff, I watch it. And so Bubba Wallace, I've been watching Formula One for a little while now.
I thought Bubba Wallace was NASCAR, and
he is. Well,
okay, Lewis Hamilton is F1.
Lewis Hamilton is F1.
Yes.
But in which I like him, but he was dating Nicki Minaj, so you know, whatever. But
that wasn't a rumor. That was true.
I don't think so. I think it was true.
I mean, it must have been a short stint.
It wasn't that long. It wasn't that long.
Okay. But what's his name? Carlos Sainz?
Bubba Wallace, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Bubba Wallace was my intro into driving. And then I found out that Damson Idris was going to be in that Formula F1 movie. So then I started watching all of it so I could be well-versed in the universe. And I seen him.
Okay. So the funny thing is the most attractive picture you sent me is the one he's dressed the most down. Like the one with him in his baseball cap where he is at the market. No, this is the funny, listeners. It's because we have very different taste in men. It's very much giving, he's fine. And I'd be like, oh, he's like a rat, you know? So that's why we just don't always agree. Sometimes we do. And today, girl,
Daddy fine too.
Sorry. His daddy, is that the one in the car with him?
His daddy's a Formula Rally driver too.
Look at my face.
Yeah.
The daddy is fine?
I mean, this ain't the best picture, but they have like a couple campaigns with Hackett London.
Formula One is that old that his daddy was also a driver? That's crazy.
Yes, lady.
Because that's old. Yes, that's old milk. Okay, I will give Senor Carlos on 7.5.
Oh, you wildin'. She wildin',
I'm
y'all.
serious.
I can't wait till y'all see these pictures.
Okay, y'all be the judge. Tap in. This picture with him in his little Carolina blue cap, he's very much, if I was on the promenade and I was on siesta in Seville. You say he's Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would be like, oh, that's a cute Spanish man, but I'm not turning my head. I'm not turning my head for him.
First of all, look at that jaw. Look at that neck.
It's chiseled.
His
the one of him with
hands.
his actual race car get up on, it's giving model bone structure. But
Yes.
interesting does not always translate to fine. You know what I mean? An
You talking
interesting
about because his
face.
nose. I like his nose.
Oh,
I know
I
you
ain't
don't.
saying nothing about that. You ain't about to get me out here with no nose
No, I'm just
allegations.
saying his nose is like it is interesting.
It's
not
very it's like it has
It kind of
character.
looks like a bird, kind of, but I'm into it. You
It's
know, I
giving
like
toucan.
noses.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
giving toucan.
but I think
And
it's
that for me is
sexy.
just, and I love that for you, Fran. I want you to have all the
But
fine
you're not
niggas
telling
of
the
the
truth.
day.
Look at his jaw.
I'm not telling.
Look
See,
at
she
him
wanted to
in
accept
that
my score.
bond. No, because
I saw it. I rated
I'll
it.
accept
Here's what I say.
an 8. I'll accept an 8. I'll accept an 8.
I said what I said.
Right. She said it's an 8, y'all. She said it telepathically. All right, moving right along. Thank you.
Anyway, see, she is so
participating.
hard-headed. You're so hard-headed. You won't even listen to what I'm. Thank you, Fran. I enjoy to see you happy, and I love that this is your. This is true friendship.
This is my
You
passion
happy,
project.
you like it, I love it. Oh my goodness. So
yeah, I definitely been in Spain. Like, I'm in love. I'm never coming home.
So that's a perfect transition because we talked about welcome back to the main stage. This season, we turn the lens on curiosity. And we think it's important to be curious with yourself, be curious with your environment, be curious with the people who you love. And so today, our curiosity is taking us back to the second part of our pregnancy curious three-peat. So we have a trilogy. We started off this season. We talked to our friend to the show, Monica Mata, with Conceivable Reproductive. And we talked about all things fertility planning. So all the different pathways there are to like actually taking ownership of your own journey. IVF, IUI, egg freezing, all of the things. And so I see how Spain came back because Spain is like a leading expert. Lauren, we're probably gonna have to go to Spain maybe for a little conceivable treat. Yeah. So it sounds you said to pick a donor, which you actually can. You actually can pick your donor.
I want them live. I don't want them in the bank. Like you. Right there.
It's gonna be like the LL Cool J video doing it wild.
I'm gonna have my apple. Like
you gonna have them dancing. That's hilarious. But this episode, excuse me, let me get serious again. See, we're serious and unserious. Yes. We are talking to an incredible guest. We'll introduce her at the top of the segment, but we're talking about prenatal care and all things around actually planning your pregnancy. And the generational shifts that exist, like what does it actually mean to be pregnant in 2025? So we're talking to a women's health provider in Texas of all places. So this is a very mutually compounded, timely conversation on reproductive and sexual health. So we will meet y'all over there on the main stage. Holla. Hey. Welcome to the main stage, Dr. Chika. For the folks at home, the listeners, I would love for y'all to know why I'm so especially esteemed and excited to have Chika here is because she's like my first friend from undergrad. Chika and I lived in the same dorm on the same floor from our freshman year. I have not left her alone since that day in 2007. She's not been able to get rid of me, nor will she ever be. She's also my line sister, right? So not only is she my friend, she's my tail. So, we go together real bad. I'm not coming up off of her. And I'm so grateful that she agreed to come spend some time with us over here on Bridges and Breakdown.
Thank you for having me, y'all. I'm excited. Yeah,
of course. Yes. So I'm going to turn things over to Lauren to break us into this segment, to get us a little bit more comfortable. What you got for us, Lauren?
Yes. Okay. So Dr. Chika, we have this segment that we call Break the Ice, Not the Bridge. It gives us an opportunity to dig deep.
Okay.
Because it's my week, I am choosing to do something that is very random and it's not pertaining to your subject matter expertise. So don't be alarmed. It's not that bad though. All right. If you were to speak to your younger self,
okay,
what would you tell her that your favorite thing is about yourself currently?
My favorite thing about myself currently, if I was talking to my younger self.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that I'm taking big steps. Like I'm really proud of like stepping out on faith and that, stepping boldly into my next step, like letting go of fear. And the thing is realizing that fear is always going to be there, but that just stepping into it, like it's going to be there, jump into the pool. So that's the biggest thing that I'm proud of myself. Like I've always been somebody that has overthink things sometimes. But I always take the step. So looking back, just that's the thing I'm most proud of myself. That I just step into it.
that.
I do too. Yeah. Okay. Lisa?
So it's what you're most proud of, you said? Tell your
Yes,
younger self
about
what you're most proud
yourself.
of.
About your current self. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I would tell little Lizzie that I'm so childish. I'm sitting here like, girl, your life is better than you probably. Your life is better than you probably even thought was possible. Because you have put in the work to create a better version of what 8-year-old you is even thinking is possible. So I would say I'm just proud of like, a bitch works. I put in the effort and the work to actually create. I love what us as women, we are creators. We conspire with God on creation. And I really do think it's just powerful when we tap into that. So I would tell her that your shit is even more lit than you thought it would be because you work hard. So that's what I would tell her. What about you, Lauren?
Well, I feel like I really resonated with what Chika was saying because I had a tendency. I don't think I have anymore because I'm on like my 4th life now. I keep reinventing myself. But when I was younger, I did things that I felt were safe or that I could attain because I didn't like failing. I didn't like uncertainty. So I always did what I felt was safe, essentially. And right now, currently, I'm super proud that I'm just doing whatever the hell I want. And little Lolo would be happy I eat my dessert before I eat my meal sometimes, which super happy about that. But I'm just, going after my dreams, things that I thought weren't possible, or like even just having a career doing things in entertainment and like, doing this podcast, just being creative and not something that I thought was like, you're an adult, so you have to do these things and you can't like be creative, which is really innate. And that's kind of like who I am. So, so I'm super proud that I am truly doing what I want to do, which was something that little Lolo could not wait to be grown. So that I could just do what I wanted to do. Like I wasn't like, I can't wait to pay bills, but I just like the autonomy of being able to quite literally do whatever I would like. So very proud about that.
It's a trade-off. I love that.
I know it's hard because I wish I didn't have to pay no bills, but I do love all the other things that come with adulthood.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. That was a very like reflective. It wasn't silly. I appreciate that. I would have had we would have been here talking crazy about
I know
if it was my turn.
I had one and other because Chad, I also know Chika because I used to be down in Chapel Hill as well.
Yes,
and we was in the club, so like I was gonna tap back into that, but because we are here, period. But I thought
we had to keep it very demure, very mindful.
I'm trying. I'm growing.
Very cutesy. Love it. Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
all right.
So I'm gonna jump right in then. I love that we've kind of all established quorum about how this is a very safe and bold space for us to be honest and reflective. And Chika, there has been a quiet panic, I feel like, amongst some millennials who are realizing that we are not 25 years old anymore. What do you want people to know about waiting to have kids later in life?
Your knees start popping and cracking, so don't. My back is hurting and
that's so funny.
No. So what do I want people to know? Number one, I think the biggest thing, and I know for me, like waiting, that you can wait, right? Like that you don't have to be in a hurry. Sometimes I realize like that you created this dream of what you thought life would be like, and you just inserted kids in that because that's what society tells you have to do. Right. So I say to like, as you're getting older, reflect, look at yourself and say, the dream that I had for myself with kids as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Is that still what I want for myself at this point in my life? And if I do want that, then there's ways that you can do it. Right. And I think sometimes people get tied into the certain way that they came up with when they were a kid and they thought they were going to have kids at 27. But as you get older, now we have so many different ways to obtain that dream
Yeah.
don't get so fearful and locked into the way that you envisioned as a child. And so, like, nowadays we know about things like IVF, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I know one of the big important things is if that's the way you envision, and if you have the funds to do it that way, because that's one of the things that kind of prevent some people. But if you have the funds to do it that way, plan for that, right? So a lot of times we talk about preserving your eggs or embryos if you do have a partner that you want. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me go back because some people might not know.
With
So
breakdown
your
of
eggs are
science.
just your eggs that you have on your own, but or embryos, like if you have a partner and you want to take your egg and combine it with their sperm and save it that way. Sometimes we recommend doing it that way because they preserve better, but that's not my specialty. Let me stay in my lane. But anyway, so if you decide to preserve your eggs, we recommend doing that before 35, right? Because your
Okay.
eggs are younger and healthier and things like that. But so if you're thinking and going down that road, then think about doing that earlier on if you can. And as you get older, like when you're born with all the eggs you're ever going to have. Every year
Right.
after that, right? They're decreasing. So I would think about doing that earlier rather than later. But also thinking about all the other routes, or avenues of having children, right?
Yeah.
Like adoption. A lot of times people don't think about that. Like even myself, I have 2 kids and I could have more, but me and Al, we talk about that's my husband, but we talk
Mm-hmm.
about like if we decide to expand our family as we get older, like I said, my back is cracking. I'm tired. Pregnancy was hard.
I
Maybe
know.
exploring another avenue, even though right
Mm-hmm.
now I think I could have more kids, but like
Yeah.
adoption, things like that. So
Yeah.
knowing that, just not limiting yourself as you get older. I think
I
that's
love that. Because that goes back to
Absolutely.
even your earlier soundbite from the icebreaker. Like the vision we have for our younger life, as the younger versions of ourselves, we have more information now, so we can have a different perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
For
Don't be
sure.
so afraid or scared that just because you're
Yes.
getting older that you're limited. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in that same, we're going to stay with that for a little bit. I'm sure for all of our listeners, if you don't know, the age of first time birth in this country is rising. And technology is one of the reasons why it's making it possible for people to start families at older ages, but that can come with risk. So, for people who would be considered advanced maternal age who aren't trying to have kids just yet, how can we, because I'm including myself, better take care
Okay.
of our reproductive health now?
Taking care of your reproductive health is just taking care of your overall health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, as you get older, you are at greater risk for things like preeclampsia, diabetes, things like that, and pregnancy. But if you overall are healthy, right? Or like,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you're exercising, you are doing the things that you mentally need to do to stay
Mhm.
healthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
then age is nothing but a number, right? Like it depends. You can
Mm-hmm.
have a 27-year-old who is not that healthy and have all these
Yeah.
complications as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about maintaining your overall health, which will then maintain your reproductive health.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I would say.
Okay. So I had a follow up that was more so about women who know they don't want children,
Mm.
but what are some of the things that you're seeing in practice that you wished your patients knew to consider as they're making their reproductive health decisions?
Oh, okay. So the ones who are not interested.
Mhm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
But
Well,
still menstruating and having all of the, I don't know, bodily preparations for a baby because they're not menopausal. Yeah.
but what should they do to preserve their reproductive health?
Yeah, just make sure, because one of the things that Eliza and I had talked about is like sometimes having a baby can, like,
Be
I won't say make
protective.
you healthy, but like it'll just help certain things along
Got
as we
it.
age. And so if you know that for sure I'm not having a baby, so whatever benefits might have come from having a child, I'm not doing it. So what
Oh.
can I do to make sure I'm good either
That
way?
is a really good question. Okay, because I wasn't quite sure what it meant. Okay, so this is what I understand. So when you have kids, you guys are right. Like breast cancer, right, is one of
Mm-hmm.
those things that I think we might be hinting at. So breast cancer, having children, and also breastfeeding is protective, right,
Mhm.
against
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer. So one of the things that what I would recommend if you're someone who you don't intend on having children at all, also your your body fat percentage is another thing that can increase your risk of breast cancer. So that's one thing you could do, right? Working out, keeping your body fat percentage low. Hormonally, things like, and I'm going to go out on a limb here because I haven't read this recently, but I know just overall health, like, we talk about like being vegan and vegetarian, just decreasing your
Like
meat
plant-based.
intake. Yeah, more plant-based, but it doesn't mean plant-based. I love what you say, Elisa, like plant-based, because some people go like to the extreme, like I can't be a vegetarian. I can't either. But just focusing on
Right.
eating more
Incorporating
vegetables.
more.
There we go.
Yes.
Like, okay,
Yes.
maybe I'll just eat meat one time a day, or just incorporating more vegetables. Like, one of the things Al and I have kind of switched to is as we travel to like Ecuador and Nigeria, we see in other countries like you can eat vegetables for breakfast. You do not have to the American breakfast, like, no, eat a salad for breakfast if you want to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
eat some zucchini. So incorporate, and it helps to you'll feel more satiated, or your stomach,
Mm-hmm.
you won't be as hungry throughout the
This is
day.
like higher fiber, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
higher fiber, like, yes, you're gonna be more regular, things like that. So you can switch it up. Like what you used to eat for dinner, just switch it and eat it for breakfast. Those are some of the things you'll notice. They're putting more veggies in your eggs, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I
It
kind of
sounds
took a
like
detour.
your approach to no, you that's exactly it. We were just curious for both the listeners who are like, I haven't had a baby, but I would like to, and also just for the girls at home, the people at home who are like, I have no interest in having a baby, but what does that necessarily mean for my sexual and reproductive health that I need to be maybe more mindful of? And I think you gave a really great
Yeah.
example.
Absolutely.
And ovarian cancer, same thing, right? Because ovulation, the way that we break it down, the way you think about it is you're always ovulating, right? Anything that's overstimulated or like that, when you're constantly ovulating, you never take a break, like during pregnancy, things like that, that can also, right, overall increase your risk of ovarian cancer because you never took that break that, a
The
pregnant woman
natural
might
break
take.
that your body would have taken if it was gestating a baby instead of
Yeah.
ovulating. Okay.
That's the
Oh,
that's the theory. Like that's the way you can think about it. But
Okay.
ovarian cancer too is one of those things that can be you're at higher risk for if you don't have children. So one of the things you can do is like birth control is
yeah.
protective, right? 5 years of birth control can be protective for some people.
It
So
also sounds like people just need to. I know that when women are pregnant and when people are pregnant, that is probably the time you're going to the doctor more than any other time of your life. And so when you're not interested in opting out from pregnancy, it also sounds like you
okay,
just need to be more mindful of like, let me just make sure I'm still going to doing my annuals, going to the
that is
doctor, because
Yeah.
that's part of like what I was hearing you say with the different risk you might be at more, for different cancers or different other hormonal issues. If you aren't pregnant, if you don't have a season of pregnancy, you still have to be on yourself to make sure you're going to the doctor regularly.
yes, and that's great. Yeah, because a lot of times, okay, breast cancer and cervical cancer are things that are diagnosed in pregnancy. And so because you haven't
You
been in years, and you come in and
now
you're
you're
then
going
you're
every
diagnosed.
month and every two
Yes.
weeks, then
And
every
Yeah.
week.
yes, those are the most common cancers that are diagnosed. So yeah, for sure. So just going to get your annuals, because sometimes kids they just kind of push you, and you're more cognizant. You want to be more, and sometimes it could be the other end because they're keeping you so busy.
That's true.
But yeah, so just making sure that you're going for your annual checkups. That's really helpful.
That's good. Let us our next question with, so what should someone actually bring up at their first OB/GYN visit if they're thinking about trying to conceive in the next 1 to 2 years? So I'm a patient, I'm new to you, and maybe I haven't been on top of my preventive care like I needed to be. But now I'm getting serious about wanting to start trying to conceive or, having a family. What is something as a patient that we should make sure we're bringing up in those first visits with our OBs?
Honestly, I don't. The thing that's on my head, and it's gonna take for a loop. You probably wouldn't even think. The biggest thing that I think that affects most moms is mental health. Like literally, if you're somebody suffering already before you get pregnant from things like anxiety or depression, your risk of having that postpartum is just is higher, right? So that will be one of the things. Like if you are someone suffering with that over those 1 or 2 years, or if you have had traumatic experiences, right? All of those hormonal changes that you go through during pregnancy bring all of that out. Like it's
Yeah.
bring all of those things up. Those things that you thought were buried come back up. So that would be what I would work on those 1 to 2
That's
years.
real.
Like
I
if
didn't
you
even
have,
think you were going there. That
I
is
know.
really
I was like,
important.
that's the top of my head. Because when I always say, like, when I'm in my patients' rooms, I wish that the wall could come down so that all the women could see how common this issue is. When I look at my charts, I would say 80 to 90% women, they put anxiety on their chart, or
Mhm.
depression, or ADHD. Is one of those things. It's gonna, like, it's so
Mm.
common. That's the most common medical problem that I see. So
Mhm.
that would be the thing that I will work on addressing while you're alone and you have the time to do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sisters, because it is more than a notion. I'm currently going through that now,
Yeah.
and it can take a while, especially if you want to get on meds and all those things, because
Mhm.
your body may or may not react to them in the best way. So you got to try different types.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that you said that's the patient to bring up to the provider, because all OBs might not have your mind and have your rapport with thinking of the whole patient, right?
Mhm.
So I love that
Mm-hmm.
you're like, if your doctor is not asking of that, that's something you should present, right, to your
Mhm.
OB, that
Yeah.
this is actually something that I know I'm ready to start trying to conceive, but
Yeah.
I'm dealing with this, and I need you to help me understand how that's going to be involved in this process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we target, like, I feel like if you target the mind first, everything else will flow from that, the mind and the heart.
Mm,
Right.
mm,
So, like, if I'm looking at your chart saying, oh, I need you to lose weight, or I need your cholesterol, that's silly, because I can't do that until I address this up here.
yes,
So, I
Mm-hmm.
think
yes.
most of the time that is those other things are symptoms. And so, if I'm targeting
Mm,
those little things, then I mean, those are symptoms of a bigger picture. And
yeah,
so understanding the bigger picture of why, or the self-limiting beliefs, or whatever it is that you need to address, those are the
yeah.
things that I feel like most women should be targeting before they get pregnant.
And it's powerful to hear that affirmed by your clinical provider. And I know it helps to have a
Mm-hmm.
Black woman in front of you when you are a Black woman to tell you that kind of stuff. So I'm so
Right.
grateful that there are Dr. Chikas in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm only able to tell my patients that just because of my own personal experience, right? Like, I had a beautiful pregnancy. I didn't have any problems, no medical problems, anything. So here my doctor is going through the chart. Oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. But then when I get to postpartum, all this stuff came up. And she was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I forgot to talk to you about that part, right? And most
Mm,
of us do. We're focused on the pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
but you're
yeah.
only pregnant for 10 months, right?
Mm,
Right.
The rest of your life.
yeah.
That's what we should be preparing for. Everybody brings me these birth plans. I'm like, Lord, that baby's
Mm-hmm.
coming out. You bring me a birth plan. But okay, we need a postpartum plan. That's what you need to be thinking about,
Yes,
because that's
absolutely.
the rest of your life. That's the setup between the maternal, and child bond. That's everything you've been working for, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's where we should be focusing our attention, because the baby's going to come out.
Baby
And
gonna fly out,
it's
drop out. They
flying
coming.
out. It
It's
doesn't
coming
matter if you're in the
out.
bathroom, at the house, whatever. It's
Right.
coming out. So we need to focus our attention on, a lot of women try to control that phase, but
Mm-hmm.
we should
Mm,
be controlling, or thinking more about the other,
mm.
Yeah.
investing more time. Like, it's like my husband. I remember we got married. He always said, oh, I don't want to focus on the wedding. I want to focus on the marriage. It's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
That's
Focus
a good
on,
man. That's a good man, Dr.
yeah,
Chica.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, focus on that part. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure. And that actually is funny. I felt like we had talked to a doula, a postpartum doula, and I had
Mhm.
mentioned how as I'm still interested in having children, but what scares me the most is like after. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I can grin and bear, I can read all the books to know what to do up until, but once it's done and I'm on my
Mhm.
own and like you have to be prepared for it as much as you can, but then also like I don't know what could happen. Like
And you don't know. I think the biggest thing is realizing. I think another thing that women, why do you want to have a child? I think that's the biggest question that people should
mm-hmm.
ask themselves, because I didn't know. I was like, oh, I want kids. Like, that was just, but
Right.
you have to look at the deeper meaning of why. Why do you want
Mm-hmm.
this? Is it because outside forces or outside people say this
Mm-hmm.
is what a happy life looks like,
Yeah.
or is it because internally this is what you really want? And most of the time, it's going to be about pouring out into something else, nurturing something else. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be about what you want. It's about what you're giving out to the child a lot of the
Yeah.
times. And so that's what I would say about to investigate that too during that time. Like, what is it that I want? And because a lot of times we have the kids, what I know I've found is that they're there to grow you also and teach you a
Oh,
lesson.
girl.
So are
Yes.
you ready for the lessons and the growth that they're coming to teach you? And you're navigating and, you know, kind of streaming them along the way and making sure that the blessings that or the gifts that God gave them are maintained. But for the
Yeah.
most part, they're teaching you a lot and growing you a lot. And if you're not ready for that growth, then maybe reconsider.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Because it's painful at
that's
times.
deep.
It's like pruning, right? It's a lot of
Come
pain
on.
that comes through it.
Come on,
Absolutely.
Pastor.
Yeah, yeah.
For
They will
sure.
transform you. For sure.
And I'm just a godmama and auntie, and I've been transformed. So I already know as a mother.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. So
That's the
for
perfect word.
sure.
It's transformative. It is
Mhm.
transformative.
It's transformative for sure. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about Texas.
Deep ancestral
Dun
side.
dun dun.
So, as we mentioned at the top of the segment, Dr. Chika is based in Texas, which, if you have, I don't know, looked anywhere, it has become one of the most hostile places for women's health. And so, Dr. Chika, I would like for you to just tell us, how has that changed how you practice medicine?
Okay. Overall, it hasn't changed that much, honestly,
Okay.
where I am. And it depends on where you're practicing and how you're
Mm.
practicing, right? So I was in private practice before, worked in a private practice before. And so there, I didn't have a ton of patients anyway that were getting like abortive care. Like, what did you say? What's the best? Elective. There we go. Elective abortions.
Mm-hmm.
Usually in Texas, right? Or I don't know how it is in other states because I can only speak of how we trained here.
Yeah.
Because it was already kind of a polarizing thing here anyway, right? In the
Mm-hmm.
culture, most private practice wouldn't offer that electively within their office, right? It's just
Okay.
not something we do here.
Okay.
So people would go to like Planned Parenthood, things like that, in order to get those procedures done. Now, in our practice, what it has changed for us are treating things that weren't elective. So I had a patient that had like anencephaly, which means that the baby has no brain, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of odd because what that would mean is that she would have to carry that baby to term, a baby that she knows won't survive. That's
Mm-hmm.
painful and very
Yes.
emotional and draining for any mother to go through,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
because of the law, that was somebody that would not be able to get an abortion. And so for patients like that, we have to like look online, look for other clinics. And they have a lot of organizations have set up different systems to help women in these circumstances.
Yeah.
But she was able to go out of state and get an abortion.
Girl.
But for some, and then we found like in some cases, there's something called PPROM, which means premature prolonged rupture of membranes, which means that
Okay.
before the baby's ready to come into the world, so before
Mm-hmm.
37 weeks, your water breaks, right?
Right.
So if that happens at a really early gestational age, like 15 weeks or something like
Yeah.
that, most babies aren't going to survive, or they'll get something called Potter syndrome, where because there's no fluid around the baby,
Yeah.
they're kind of compressed and they have like
Jesus.
contractures, like their arms,
Mm-hmm.
can stretch, and their lungs don't develop because the way your lungs develop are from like taking in the fluid, and that helps the lungs to develop. So those are some of the things that can happen when you rupture super early. But even with that, like I had a baby that I took care of that they bomb ruptured at 17 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
so before then, I would have counseled the patient, like, oh, let's go ahead and induce you. But what I found, I mean, the mom delivered this baby, and the baby, I think, delivered around 34 weeks. Yeah. And the baby's doing fine. And
Wow.
so for me, that was a change too, right? In the other direction, to be
Wow.
like, wow, I was inducing these babies before. And here I
Mm-hmm.
have a baby that survived and is, just on room air in the NICU. So that can be kind of eye opening, right? On the
Mm-hmm.
other side of things, to be like, okay, we might have been a little bit more
Hmm.
aggressive, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has helped to see a different way to look at things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I'm still evaluating my personal, thoughts about the law.
That is really heavy. And I just want to take a minute and honestly acknowledge that you're doing this work in a very tough climate. A lot is on your
Yeah.
shoulders. Is there a wellness practice that you have, right? Traditionally, spiritually, emotionally, that you personally
Mm.
rely on to stay grounded as a Black woman in medicine doing this type of work? Because that's a lot. That's a lot that you just
Yeah.
shared.
Okay, so I do a lot of things like, just movement, keeping my body
Mm,
moving,
Mm-hmm.
aromatherapy, well, journaling. Oh my God, that's
say
a
more.
new thing. I don't like to write. I used to have writer's anxiety. I hated it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just thinking about it I hated it so much. But I got enrolled into this journaling class. It's called non-dominant handwriting. Literally changed my life. My friend's been telling me about this forever. Basically,
Mm.
it's like a practice where you write with your dominant hand. Like you'll ask your non-dominant hand a question with your dominant hand. Like, how are you feeling today?
Okay.
And then your non-dominant hand will respond. It's the most beautiful thing
Oh
because
wow.
it's like a lot of times the way we see it is that people's external self, right? Like your ego, your external
Mm-hmm.
self that's interacting with the world may have a different response than who you are truly in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your
Wow.
internal self. Because you've gotten so used to doing
Wearing the
things the way the
mask.
world tells you to
Mm-hmm.
do that you
Mm-hmm.
don't even know what you truly want to do. So this activity kind of helps to bring out that internal self, that subconscious self that's been talking to you forever, but you learn
You
how
haven't
to just
listened.
you haven't listened.
You turn the voice
Mm-hmm.
down.
You turn the voice down. So it like teaches you how to bring the voice up. And it's beautiful. Like I love it. And it like some days, it helped me pick my paint color. Like I was back and forth and I'm so
And her
happy.
house
Like
is beautiful, chat, for the
yeah,
record. She
it's,
done redesigned this house to the gods, okay?
I don't know about that, but yeah. It's a little messy right now, but yeah. So that is one of the things that um, I has been. That
Beautiful.
is one of my biggest. What do you call it? What you ask me? Like mental
Like a
health
grounding
Like,
practice.
yeah.
grounding practice. Yes, that I go
Mm-hmm.
to, and I used it before, like today, because I was really anxious. Right?
Oh.
Doing the podcast, but then just in general, like the kids running around, feeling. And so I was like, okay, nope. Go in your closet, get your book, figure out what's wrong with you. You're like, why are you
Oh
feeling
my
like this?
goodness. Girl, you're
Mm-hmm.
you're you're giving us a whole sermon. This is
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
amazing.
That is the best. And if someone would have taught me this, that's what I would have told my younger self. I wish I would have known. People say journal, journal. I'm like, what? What am I
Mm-hmm.
journaling for? No, so you have internal peace. And so you can go out and conquer the
Mm.
world and deal with the world. Like you have to have
Come
peace
on.
internally. And
Mm-hmm.
so
That's real.
I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
I
Yeah.
love
And
that.
it's
Okay.
easy and it's simple.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna try again because I have so many journals. But what I end up doing is I start writing, and then I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to admit like what I'm writing. Like, no, I don't want to write that down. It makes it too real. So then I'll switch to
Mm.
voice notes. So I have like my voice note journal, so I could just get it out and off of me, and that has
Mm-hmm.
worked. But I think writing makes it more real because I'm writing it, but I also have to read it, and so I have to
Yes.
acknowledge like this is
Yeah.
truly, you know,
How you
how I
feel.
feel.
Yeah.
And
So yeah.
okay, so with this class that I took, and that's one of the things, she really helped you to make it a daily practice and to get through those things that prevent you from doing it. So she kind
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm.
walk you through because there's always barriers that are going to prevent you and
Yes.
say like, because you're switching, right? She explains it better, but it's going to fight you. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been used to living without listening to your other part of
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Yeah.
your ego self or this, it'll fight you. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to like talk yourself through. There's different techniques that you can use in order to encourage you to keep
I
doing the
love
work.
that.
One of the things that helps me, like once I started doing, is number one, looking forward to the peace that I have and the
Mm-hmm.
clarity that I have. But also when you look back on at your journals, like after before you start a new one, you're supposed to look back. And when you
Mm.
look back, the problem that you had seems so small and minute. Or to see
Mm.
that you worked through it. Oh, and it
Yeah.
worked. And so now when you're during
It's
the day and
powerful.
you're having like something really big, you might feel anxious in that moment, but to think and say, "Oh, I have this tool in my toolbox that when I can get to it, like talk to your child self, your internal self, hey, we're gonna put this to the side and table that, but in a minute we'll have time to address it." That can give you peace in the moment too. To be able to have that to go back to. And so,
Okay.
but
Oh, that's the
yeah, I
definition
like
of
and make it
grounding.
fun.
That's
All right.
beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
Go ahead, girl. Thank you for
Now,
sharing that.
this non-dominant writing, is it something you could take online? Because we like to give our listeners resources, so I'm sure there's going to be somebody who would be interested. Is that something that's based in Texas, or can anybody anywhere take it?
Well, this lady is a actual like she's a coach, and you can sign up with her, but you can also sign up with me. That's a part of the thing that I'm gonna start doing is helping,
Ooh.
especially though it's not all women. I'm trying to center it mostly for postpartum women, just since that's my specialty now. But to teach them to have that tool that they can pass on to their kids. But yeah, that would be something that I'm willing to offer.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
We're at the end of the show, we're gonna have you share all of the ways people can follow up and like
Yes.
connect with you. So this is perfect for us to come back to.
Okay, perfect.
I love that.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh, I really love that. Now I'm looking for, it gives me something to look forward to, because I legit, like, I'm looking, I have 2 journals here. And like I'll look like the first maybe 20 pages I've written in, and then I could tell right when I was like, oh no.
You lost the interest.
No, it's not even interest, because I do
Or
like
the discipline, just the practice of it. It got hard.
it's just like when it's something that's very difficult, like I have like certain triggers of things that I just know I have to get it out, but I can't write it because I would get too sad. So I just speak it. And then I at least feel let go of some of that pressure. But I feel like it's probably still in there. So maybe writing it out would be better. But yeah.
Lauren, I have a question.
What's up?
Why do you feel like you get too sad? Like, what's getting too sad?
Okay. So I have this now. I cry a lot. I cry happy, sad, mad, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's ego. But like a lot of times it's admitting. I can say like, oh, this person hurt me, right? Like today, this person pissed me off. But getting to the root of it, and it's not just like, oh, they said this, but like, this is how it made me feel. This is what it reminded me of. And having to be honest in those moments of like what might have triggered it, or, you know, if I'm projecting, going a layer deeper. When I write about it, I just don't always like to admit to myself, even though I know it, I just don't like to write it out because it makes it too real to me. So, yeah.
Well, that's probably the exact place you need to go. Vulnerability, it makes you so vulnerable. It makes it so real for you. Because it's going to show up in your body, in your attention. It shows up somewhere. And that's the work. Because I'm like, that's when you have kids, you can't hide it. Like you try, but
They're
it
a
comes
mirror.
up
They're
somehow.
such a mirror.
My gosh, yes, they are such a mirror. And I'm like, because the kids were running around and I kind of snapped earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, you need to go to the room. Like it's something in you. You need to get that out.
Yourself, right? You're like, I need to actually check me. That's
it's not them. It's not them. Take myself to the room. Okay, what's wrong with you?
They run around.
They're being kids. Yep. Like, so what's going on?
Oh my God,
I had my whole little cry session. Everything. I'm a big old crybaby, but I always feel like I always tell everybody, I'm like, no, I have to be my mom's strongest child because I will cry at the drop of a dime about all kinds of stuff. The journaling activities help me to cry less. I would say that, but yeah, I cry.
I schedule cries. Now, sometimes, depending on what's going on, I just will bust out crying. But a lot of times, like we talked about earlier, when I was going through a breakup, I had certain songs like, okay, this feeling, I'm overwhelmed by sadness. I'm just turning the song on and cry so that I can get it out and not go about my day. So yeah, not the healthiest
Emotional
practice,
release.
but you know, it's how I've been able to. I mean,
feel like that's okay.
I think it's okay, but I do feel like being okay with the words and like being vulnerable, that's something that I struggle with. So that is on my list of my like personal new year of trying to get more comfortable. Because, you know, I do I statements and all of that when I'm trying to express it to other people, but it still can be difficult. I don't know.
Have you heard of Brene Brown?
I have.
Yeah, the vulnerability. She talks about vulnerability. Like literally, I would not be married without her in her vulnerability talk. Because I remember listening to her talk and talk about vulnerability. And that is what kind of started this whole journey. I think God was like, okay, you finally got it. Now you can go on the step. You're ready for that next stage. I don't know. Because it took that listening to that talk which, she talks about being vulnerable and all these different things. And then when you're vulnerable, the beautiful thing that she talks about is like the feeling, that uncomfortable, like you want to run feeling that you have after being vulnerable. She talks about all of that, but that I slid into our DM. So that's how I was like, okay, that's what I want. I'm at no, I had met him like 2 or 3 years before or something, and he friend requested
Because
me
y'all
on
was at the same
Facebook.
school, right? Weren't y'all teaching at the same school? Yeah.
Yeah, we were teaching at the same school. I met him, and then I went to med school. We lost touch, but then he friend requested me on Facebook, and I remember I was like, "Oh my God, that's that guy." Then when I first saw him, I was like, "That's gonna be my husband." That's what I felt inside.
That so much.
When I saw him on Facebook, he friend requested me in 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. He never even messaged me or anything. So I guess I listened to that talk, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go after what I want or something." And I messaged him.
Period.
And history.
Like you said, take the big swings to baby Chika, and look, it pays off in dividends.
Definitely does. No, I will say I have grown in my vulnerability journey.
Yeah.
I have had better experiences because I've been vulnerable, but I still know that I have some ways to go.
No, but I think this podcast is helping. This is the place to be vulnerable, for real. That's why I was nervous. Like, oh my God, I got to be myself. People gonna
be yourself. Because that's the thing. Like you said, we want people to feel there's so much opportunity in just the connection that it creates for people to understand that they are not alone. An outlier.
Yeah, like this is not just something unique to you. But no, for real, like it's still something. I'm much better now than I was last season, but I keep stuff like to the chest and like I just don't. It was very hard for me to get over the hump of like sharing my thoughts, my feelings. Certain things I don't mind talking about, but if it's like this is like something that's very personal, it was tough. So I get it. So the anxiety, all of that, but after a while, it goes out the way. So, and it's nice to do it with my best friend and to have wonderful guests that we, know and respect. So it's a lot easier to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it comfortable.
I think we're back to you, Lolo. I think
we are back to me. Okay, so we're gonna hop back into. Well, we've been talking about this a lot today, like mind, body, and expectations in pregnancy. But
I think she kind of answered some of it already. But I want to hear.
Yeah, but now we have this. We'll have it laid out for you so you can delve in deeper. So, the stories that people carry into pregnancy about their bodies, their worthiness, their timelines, and what it should look like, right? How do you help people reframe those expectations?
Just be. I think that's just be. Like, even when you're in whatever it is that you deem is not perfect or is a problem, even if it's whatever it is, it's okay to just be. Even that, because that happens to be like, okay, today I'm overwhelmed or I'm I'm really anxious. That is okay. That's how, even that, you're created like that, right? We can work through that. God knew you were going to go through that when you were going through before you knew you were going to go through it. And that also is a part of the journey. Like I said, I have had anxiety my whole life, right? My whole life. Before I didn't even know I had anxiety until I went to med school and they were describing it. I was like, oh, that's me. Like, I've always felt like an elephant was on my chest. I thought that was normal, right?
Right.
Yes, baseline. What do you mean? I'm always overthinking. Like, that's just how it goes. But now that I'm on this journey to help other women through it, I was like, even that, right? That was a part of my journey. So if I could look back at myself and not blame myself for being a more anxious or overthinking, if I wasn't an overthinker, I couldn't do surgery. I need to overthink, right? I need to think more about the steps. So even that, or like, I like to have a really clean space, or organized space. I couldn't be efficient at surgery if that. So every detail, even the things that you think, they work together for your good. So even the things that you think are negative about yourself, if you allow God to reframe it, you will see that even that is beneficial to you, right? So I think on the sad days or on the hard days, I can't remember your exact question.
Oh, just how you do that for patients, like how you help people reframe that.
Yeah, reframe. So one of the things, I don't know why this came to mind, is called observing the observer. Right.
Yes.
I read it in some book. I'm really hard at quoting books and all that because they become a part of my everyday life.
Yeah.
But when you have a thought or something that comes to mind, just observe it. Don't judge it. Don't criticize it. Just think about it like, oh, that's what I think about that. Or this is what runs in my head. Because most things that you think about is just on cycle, on repeat. You're having the same thoughts and everything every day, right? Until maybe you solve it or move past it. Or other than that, it's going to keep coming up. It's like a loop. And so when you have it, to be able to sit back, just like a counselor, and just observe it. But like,
I love that.
I just thought about slapping that lady. That was interesting. I must not like her. You know,
Right.
or, so whatever it is, to not judge yourself and just because you can't control your thoughts. That's
Like,
one thing you
nope.
cannot control. So just stop trying. Just observe
It
them
is
and
a
be like,
dummy mission to try to
For
control
real.
your thoughts. You will go
just
crazy.
you're crazy. And to try to control, like you didn't create you. So most of the time you don't even understand why you're like that or why and people try to judge you. Just no, just be like that. Like, oh, I talk too much. Okay, just talk.
Yep.
Be mute
Yep.
and
Either,
let them
either
be
you like
quiet.
listening or you can
Yeah.
go. Cause like I talk a lot.
There we
That is so
go.
funny.
So just
Oh,
observing
man.
yourself and just having the freedom just to be and be you.
That is the perfect transition to this next part of the conversation. You've been trained in Western clinical science, but we know that's just one piece of the puzzle. So I want you to take a little bit of time to talk more about how you integrate traditional or ancestral health practices into your work, if at all. And one thing you wish medical training made more room for when it comes to whole person care.
Okay. What I would say is, and when medical training, that's like medical doctorate, like Western type of training, I would say they're already doing a lot, right? They're doing, in that 4 years you're learning, your mind is pushed to the
Yeah.
capacity. What I would say is, what we take an oath, right, is for lifelong learning. One of the things that you can do as a provider is to educate yourself. Like there's other ways to integrate or to learn about these other practices. So right now, right, while the system hasn't changed, to take control of yourself and to once you finish medical training to know that you just got this one degree in that particular part of health, but then to open yourself up because we need a whole training on nutrition. That's one thing we do not learn in medical school,
Yep.
like at
Yep.
all. And so instead of me, like, I wish, but that time period was at max capacity. So just knowing that, okay, I need to take courses on my own to learn these things, like about nutrition or even exercise. Like you just have to look at the whole person. Oh, and that's another thing. Like medicine, a lot of times has become really fragmented, right? You have all these specialists and specialties, and you're sending them, and you don't have the labs. You can't get control of that record. But to realize that you're treating a whole person, and
Yeah.
it's hard, especially it's hard to treat some things without full context. Is yes, you're treating a whole person and not to focus on just treating the disease. Like
That's
especially
it.
in women's health. In women's health, like and sometimes when I get up against the wall, I'm like, I cannot figure this out. I don't know what's going on with this. Like it just doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, I start to look. You have to look outside of that. We
Zoom
focus
out.
in,
Yeah.
yeah, zoom out and look at the person as a whole. No, we have so many other diseases that manifest, in the body, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to have a more holistic picture. So that's what I would say.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. So with that, how do you balance evidence-based practice with what you know your patients need culturally or spiritually?
Um. Okay. So evidence-based, I always follow best practices and do that first. But
Right.
then I had a medical assistant that always knew. Like sometimes I would end up in the room for like an hour because okay, I might address the evidence-based stuff first, but then I noticed that there's some. Oh, I'll tell y'all a story. But then I'll notice that there's something else going on. But that's just me. Like I'm spiritually attuned. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes walking around, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to deal with this. Like I can see that there's something else that I have to deal with, but I just want to deal with their UTI. I don't want to deal with whatever else is going on. Like I just don't have time for that. And so sometimes I'll peep my head out and be like, this is gonna be a long one. Just come get me.
They
I
be sick
already
of you.
know.
I know they be sick of you.
Sick of me. So I remember having a patient that came in. What was the problem? It was pelvic pain. Ooh, this was a good one. She came in with pelvic pain like during intercourse. And I remember talking to her and I was like, okay, okay. And we kind of go through everything. And, some people can have pelvic pain from something called vaginismus, where like their vagina gets really tense and the muscles get really tense. And so I remember examining her. She was really relaxed. She didn't have vaginismus. She didn't have anything. And so I asked her, I'm like, okay, I couldn't identify anything. When I examined her, everything was fine. And I was like, so that's when you have to tap into the story. I remember having a professor who always told me, or we call them attendings, who always told me, most of your disease, your diagnosis, you're going to find it in talking to them, not in all of this other stuff, right? And those are just things to help me, right? So I remember talking to her and I'm like, okay. So I was like, when did you first start having these symptoms? And she said about 2 years ago. I was like, so what happened? What happened then? And she went, you could see her go back in her mind. And she was like, I started having them after, she had an experience with another partner. Like she brought another partner into her relationship, another female or whatever. And so when she did that, that is after that, she felt a lot of like distrust in her partner and all this other kind of stuff. And after that is when she started having pain. And so probably the way I could see, because everything, I'm telling your whole body is connected and your body remembers the event, even if you don't remember. So
Damn.
for
There's a book
her, I
about
mean,
that.
The
The
body
body
keeps
the
remembers
body
the
keeps a
score.
score.
Yeah,
The body
yeah.
keeps scoring.
Yeah, so even if you don't remember, your body's going to remember. And so it manifested for her in, painful sex. We call that
Wow.
dyspareunia. And so after that, so then you have to go back and work through all of that stuff with your partner. You might actually now have, tense muscles and need to go to pelvic floor therapy, things like that. But she remembered, and she also had to be honest with herself and honest with me. Like, I'm not going to judge you for having threesome. I don't care.
Yeah,
Right. But if
yeah.
she wouldn't have told
Y'all,
me
don't be
that,
lying to your doctor.
Oh
Don't
my
be
God,
lying to your
please do not.
doctor or
because
your
then you got
therapist.
me. Exactly. You got me sitting here working double hard when you know what caused it. Don't waste me and your time and then be looking at me like, why can I solve the problem? Because you're not giving me all the pieces.
That's
Right.
right. Oh
So
my
when she
goodness.
was honest with herself and could tell me, and I was like, oh my God, that helped me and her both. Right. Like I felt and she knew what she had to do in order to kind of work through it. So yeah.
That's beautiful.
That
Yeah.
is. Thank you for giving that full circle and explanation as to how that's connected. But we've seen more millennials leaning into things like acupuncture and herbal medicine and doula support. Where do you see the value in these practices from your perspective as a clinical medical doctor?
The first thing that comes to mind is they are practices that help, but they only help as much as you're going to do the work. Because a lot of times people will go to these people thinking, oh, I went to the acupuncturist, now I'm fine. No, there's so much more you have to do in order to help yourself at home, right? They are there to teach you. You heal you. That's the most important thing. When you come to
That's
the
a
doctor, I
soundbite.
am not there to heal you. You're going to heal yourself. You are there to get knowledge from that person. Take that knowledge in and fit it into the puzzle that is you. Because in the 15 minutes, the hour, they're never going to know everything about you. They don't have time to know everything about you. You're there to get a nugget, a seed from that person and implement it into your life. Like when I went to a nutritionist and I went to her for a few months and then I stopped going, right? But the thing I got from her, it was like small little nuggets that I needed to add to me, right?
To integrate into your life.
And to integrate into your life. They're not going to heal you, but you're going to get the pieces that you need for that season in your life in order to help catapult you to the life that you want. But
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Yeah, integrate all of that stuff, but just know that they're not going to heal you. I don't care who you go to. You have to be in tune with yourself and take enough time to spend with yourself to know, what did this person teach me that I can now implement into my health? And that's what they're there for. So
Okay.
yeah, I think it's
I'm
important
glad
to
I
go to all
asked
of
that
them.
question. That was very, I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a small, quick. How do you feel about chiropractors?
I love chiropractic.
Okay.
Oh.
My whole life. Oh yeah, I like all of it. Right. I think that as a Western doctor, I have a piece in the puzzle, and sometimes I think we can be villainized. I think our section is when your disease has gotten so bad that you can't just go a holistic natural route.
Yeah.
Holistic and natural routes are most of the time, yes, you can heal yourself, but they are for preventative. You don't wait until you have a problem to go the holistic route. You start that when you're healthy, when you feel great. Right. But sometimes when it's gotten so bad, that's when I feel like that's where my place is. But then people try to dump all of their stuff into one area. So I would say that a chiropractor, I love chiropractic. I had headaches my entire life until I started going to a chiropractor. I got so bad that I was having like numbness and tingling down my arm. I have tension headaches. So I hold all my anxiety and tension in the back of my neck, like the occiput and all of those muscles there. So going to a chiropractor and like a massage therapist, and sometimes chiropractors can do massage. That is what relieved it. And so now I don't have to take medicine
I
or
love
anything
that.
for that.
Wow.
Yeah, I love chiropractor.
I love that. The integration of,
Okay.
like you said, East and West, traditional,
Yeah.
ancestral, spiritual,
Use it
and
all.
clinical. Yes, they're
Yeah,
all
don't just
tools.
ignore it. All they're all tools. Use it all.
Okay. Now my friend has sworn by it. She's been getting them forever. She even got adjustments when she was pregnant. And I think she had her babies get
You can
adjustments.
get babies adjusted.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
I
I
was
had
just like, yeah. So, all
Yeah, my daughter's
right.
been adjusted too. Like when my daughter had like a really hard latch, it was so painful, and so she got adjusted. But yeah, if you're comfortable with it and your
Yeah.
body's telling you to do it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love it.
Very cool.
Well, this is the second to last question. So, because we want to respect your time, I know the babies need their mama, and my good brother needs his woman. So, with advice coming from every angle right now, you have TikTok, you have your aunties, you have podcasts, not ours, because we actually are truth tellers over here and we do
Yes.
the research. But how do you help your patients tune into their bodies and their values while navigating all that noise? So, for example, when someone says self-care for women trying to conceive or women early in pregnancy, people early in pregnancy, what does that actually mean beyond just the Instagram version? So it's like a two-part question. I want you to answer however you feel led, but we just live in a time with a lot of noise. And how do you counsel your patients to really zoom in
You have to
and
turn it
tune in?
off. Turn it off. Like that's it. Just turn it off. When Okay, so there's a book called Sacred Rest. It's by a doctor. She's an internal medicine doctor. And one of the things that she talks about is like when you can have too much, be overstimulated, too many stimuli, right? So one of those things like Facebook, Instagram, all of that, you're just taking in too much knowledge at one time. And then you have your aunt, and especially when you have kid, like when you're a new parent, oh my God, everybody has an opinion, and then you're gonna look for everybody's opinion, and then your mama's like, why are you listening to that? You should be listening to me. And then you're trying to also listen to yourself. So just turn it off. Like one of the things that I did that's so helpful is to literally just take the apps off. I don't get off of the social media. Like people don't know, and they're like, oh, I messaged you 5 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh, I don't have the app. I just got rid of it. Like I will take them off. And if I need
Yeah.
to get back on or look up something, I'll download it and then just get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that helps me to prevent the just constant scrolling and all of that and the excess information that you need. And you'll find other ways to, because it's like a dopamine hit every time you
Right.
every time you swipe at something to
It
kind of
is.
relax you, and
Yes.
you'll find other. Because I'm like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. Let me relax a bit.
Right. Let me look through my TikTok.
Meanwhile, it's making you stressed, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So then it's like
That's
a
what you sleep.
cycle. Yeah, when you're sleeping. So just turn it all off, and just that's the only way. First, turn it off, and then you can start to hear yourself and tune in. A
I
little
love that.
meditation, and like I said, the non-dominant handwriting journaling, going for
Yeah.
walks.
Connecting with your body.
Connecting with your body. Yeah, those are some of the things. Movement,
That's really
the
good.
dance. Oh, man, Elisa, he's
Yeah, we was on a dance team, y'all.
yes. It's like I still find that. Like I tuned into those things that gave me joy when I was a kid. And so when I
Oh,
dance,
I love that.
my mind always opens up. Like I'll be in the bathroom and just put some music on and just really
This is a dancing queen over here too, because she will boogie. I'm surprised you probably be dancing down in the hospital, and I know.
girl, one time I came in, I just dropped the low. They just had a good sometimes I will, yeah. You gotta make it fun for yourself. You gotta make it
I
fun for
love
yourself.
it. Come on. We are very unserious over here. So that's my kind of carrying on. I love that.
That's funny. All right. So, as you know, our podcast, we focus on the generations, and because we are millennials that are situated between, the old school and the new, we want to have a question for our youngins that might be listening. So, for the next generation, which is Gen Z and Gen Alpha, what do you want them to understand about their power when it comes to reproductive health?
About their power. Oh my gosh. Well, especially with the rise, I think, in HIV, like in Black women, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you have the power. Like, go, number one, you don't have to do anything. I think a lot of girls, young girls, and even me, especially me, I have to speak to the younger version of myself. Like in college and high school, you are not doing this because you want to. You're doing it because you think that that's going to make him like you more or bond you, or because your friends are doing it, or because you're just curious. Listen, if you're curious, go ask somebody that's done it. It's not that great until you get married. It was actually horrible. They were terrible. Okay. Jesus. They were terrible, Lord.
So
If
funny.
I
So
could go
real.
back and tell them, like, just the biggest thing is to take your time, and that you don't have to do it. Like the pressures, societal pressures that say that you do, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to. Get tested. Like before
Yes.
you have any sexual partners, it is important. We used to have all those like PSAs and things
Yep.
on, TV. I don't see that as much anymore. It is so
No.
important. Go
Yes.
and get tested. Go to the clinic with your partner and
Yes.
get
Yes.
tested before you do it. And if all that is too much, then you shouldn't be doing it. Like if it
Exactly.
takes too much time or whatever, go and get tested with your partner. Make sure that you see his results and that it's his name and not his homeboy's name on the results.
Getting in my
Then
charts. Log
Right.
into the maps. Make sure
there
it's
we
the same name
go.
and date of birth.
It's the same name. See his ID. Maybe he told you that was his name and that's not even it. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Like go get tested. And then also, if he is not your husband or whatever, just strap it up. Use a
Yeah.
condom in addition to all of that. And that's
Yeah.
what's going to protect you. Because a lot of people don't realize, like gonorrhea and chlamydia, yes, you can get treated, but you can get you have long-term, long-lasting effects that can happen, right? You can get an infection called a pelvic inflammatory infection, where it causes a lot of inflammation within your fallopian tubes and they become
Yeah.
scarred and you can't get pregnant. So if you want to
Yeah.
protect yourself, right, that's one of the things that you should do. And no judgment, right? Like we're all, have gone through that phase. Just slow down and make them do what they need to do.
They have power. It is yours to protect. That's what
Absolutely.
I'm hearing from you. You have your
Yeah.
power.
You
Nobody
have
can take that from
power.
you.
Yeah, and it is powerful, right? Like use it when you need to. Use it responsibly because it is powerful. And I think, I have a daughter and like looking back, it is something that God gave us to use to our advantage, right? Like in marriage and things like that. Oh, not for pleasure, but it is something that bonds you with your partner and something that they desire. But use it, in a way that is responsible and that's gonna,
That honors you. Honor
and
yourself.
honors yourself and
And your
not for somebody else.
desires.
And
Yes. And
your
your desires.
desires, yes,
Yeah.
and not for
Yes.
somebody else.
Not for other people. Exactly.
Because the orgasm gap is too wide
It's too real.
for everybody to be busting it wide open.
I'm
So
telling you.
you might as well enjoy it.
There we go.
So do all
If
the
you can't be
things.
vulnerable, you're not gonna have orgasm. So if you know you can't be vulnerable with this person and tell them the way you want it and how you
Yep.
want it and what you like and all that kind of stuff, and even just be emotionally vulnerable, it's not gonna be good, girl. I'm just gonna tell
Yeah.
you that. So just don't do it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. That's what I'm
That's from your millennial a big sister, Dr. Chika. I love that, Chika. Girl, we could talk to you forever. We might have to have you back next season for a part 2. But
Yeah.
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so proud of you. I have been with this woman when we did the all-nighters to study for organic chemistry exams. So to see her from there to being Dr. Chika, who was doing God's work and literally changing people's lives and using her gifts and her skills to just be a blessing and a light. We are so grateful to have you.
Yes.
Please tell the people where they can find you, sis. So how can our listeners connect with you and your work to support, the broader fight that you are fighting for equitable healthcare and making sure that women are whole and well. Where can they find you?
Thank you. I mean, I'm on Instagram. Like I say, I'm not always on there. But simply Dr. Chika, and the doctor is spelled out. So CIMPLY, Dr. DOCTOR, Chika. On TikTok and Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you're doing some more postpartum planning stuff as well, and like the journaling and the coaching. So everybody should go to check out your social platforms if they're interested in connecting.
Yeah, just send me a message.
All right.
Thank you so much. It's been so fun. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's very nice.
She looks good. She got finer. Isn't that crazy? She got 2 kids and it's finer.
I had to stop myself, right? Because I'm like, damn, Chika, you look good. I'm like, damn. I mean, I knew you were always beautiful, but I'm like, oh my gosh. So
that's so sweet. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome.
We hope that you enjoyed our conversation with Dr. Chika. I know that we did. We love talking to her. I hadn't seen, I know I talked about that. I think I did. I hadn't seen Chika in a minute.
She is such a light. She's such a light.
And I learned so much. And even since then, I've been trying, not actually succeeding, but writing with my left hand and trying to do the journaling.
That exercise she was telling us about.
Yeah, so I love that. Thank you so much for joining us. And please, I know we said it at the end of the segment, but if you have any questions for Dr. Chika, send it to us in our DMs. You can email it to us, TikTok, Instagram, find us. Oh, and Facebook. We're now on Facebook. So if you have not added the podcast page, it's Bridges and Breakdowns Podcast. Go like our page, follow, engage with the content. You can be the first one to see
all of the updates.
That's where we send everything. And if you are looking to explore Podbean, which is the platform that we use to distribute, they also have links to the Podbean there as well. But so, after we do our Bridges and Breakdown segment, we like to close out the episode with our benediction.
Yes.
Which we like to call a PS, which we have evolved it from just please stop, which was season 1, to also please start.
Yes.
And so these are things, pick your poison. Maybe it could be both. Just make sure you do it ASAP. But so best friend, would you like to start off, or you want me to do it?
I can. I have a quick one. I have a please stop this week. I was really motivated. Twofold, a serious one and not serious one. Since we doing duality today. Y'all gotta stop riding these little Lime scooters in traffic. I don't know if y'all have that in Chicago. Okay,
we do.
In all the major cities, it's so terrifying.
Dangerous.
It's so dangerous, and the kicker is no one ever wears a helmet with them.
Never.
And so you really only need to have
you.
They literally, girl, someone was doing 30 miles an hour in traffic today next to my car on my way to pick up my baby from daycare. And the public health expert in me is like, this is about to be a new level of crisis for traumatic injuries, because you fly off that thing going 30 miles an hour with no helmet. It's just you in the concrete, baby.
And your brains
or a car. Your brains are going to be scattered across 14th Street. And it's not going to be nobody's fault but your own.
No.
So
don't you hit a pothole.
Those are for the sidewalk. They're not for traffic. And honestly, even the sidewalks are dangerous.
You need to have on a helmet. I'm telling you.
And I know you don't have one walking down the street, because that's not a normal way of transportation. So I think those things need to be banned. You can call me all kinds of tyrant. When I'm king, them Lime scooters are gone. No, they're not going to be in Gen Pop. So that's my kind of unserious one. But
that's serious to me, child.
It is serious, because I just was on my heart.
Because I was thinking about that this weekend while I was driving. I saw one. It quite literally
because it was a nigga with dreads. His dreads were literally flying behind him. I was like, this is so not safe.
Oh my god!
You know what? I'm in there. I'm not even. I'll get into my next one. My other one is next week.
What's your other one?
Oh my god! Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we'll stop there, because you're right. It is serious. Okay, the other please stop And I guess, you know what? It could be flipped as a please start. Instead of doing the negative, I'll do the inverse. Please start assuming the best from the people you are friends with and in your village. And just assume that people don't mean you harm. I think everyone is walking through life right now. There's a lot of heaviness. There's a lot that people are dealing with. A lot of us are cutting it close, barely making it. And I felt personally proud of myself without getting into who it was, but I had an event. I had a friend who had RSVP for the event and they did not make it. They didn't show up and they didn't tell me that they couldn't show up. And my first instinct was not to feel slighted. Actually I made it was subconscious, but then I had to name it consciously. And my first thought was concern. Let me actually check on this person because that's not like them. Why didn't they? Let me see if they're good, right? So instead of approaching it with, you hurt my feelings, or why didn't you show up to this, or your ass could have at least told me, I could have come to it with a lot of like negative, hostile energy, feeling slighted, justifiably so, right? But I approached it from a place of curiosity. I'm really curious why this happened. Are you good? And that energy set a very different tone for the conversation we had. And now it's from a place of like, I learned what was going on with them and we're going to make up for it and we're going to spend time in a different way. And it can also hold room for it. It can still be hurtful that like, oh, I was really looking forward to seeing you at this event and you not showing up, but you had your own shit going on. Yeah, exactly. So yes. And that happened to me personally. And it also, it reoccurred. I had like randomly a dental emergency. And my dentist she runs a one-woman shop. I go to Black providers for everything. So I called her and she didn't answer. And I ended up having to go to a different dentist to get something done quickly. And by the time I had seen her maybe 2 weeks later for my routine visit, and I told her what happened, she was mortified. She was like, oh my God. And we figured out what the issue was. I had left a voicemail and everything, but I asked her, I was like, it was unlike you to not respond to I've been seeing you for 10 years. That's never happened. Are you good? And that's what I approached with. And she was so touched. She was like, girl, my own life, I've been going through so much. And this is what happened. And I'm just so grateful that you had that approach to me because my own life didn't even do that. Like, I've been going through some stuff this season and it was not because of negligence. And she apologized and we figured out she repaired the harm and she took extra good care of me. And, so I just think that energy of being curious when you feel let down by people in your life, especially people who have a track record of being consistent and showing up for you, is really healthy. And so I just wanted to share that because it might minister to somebody. It might be a blessing.
Girl, just minister to me. I'm gonna take somebody off ice.
Won't you do it?
that I had put on ice because I felt betrayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for that, best friend.
Of course.
All right, well,
I'm
gonna lighten the mood. Okay. I'm gonna do rapid fire. First things first, words mean things, people. Please stop using the incorrect terms. Crash out. That is something where you are willing to go to jail about, okay? You have to think Lisa Lopez and Andre Rison, when she burnt that nigga house
that's crash out. That's a crash out.
She was crashing out. You being mad because your little fine shit didn't call you back and you huffing and puffing in the IG stories is not crashing out. Please stop saying that. It pisses me off, okay? Because crashing out is riding up on the grass trying to tap your high school boyfriend with your car because he was playing with you. That's crashing out.
Is there statutes of limitation with incriminating yourself?
It's over with. It's
excellent.
Over with.
Wonderful.
Okay. Rich auntie, another one. I've seen a young man on the internet who says that rich auntie is an energy and it's luxury, and I don't have no badass kids and la la la, and just going crazy. And everybody keep telling him like, bro, I get where you trying to go, but no, that's not what a rich auntie, the term that has been colloquially used.
Yes,
it's all about the kids. It's the auntie that's rich that has the money to come back pouring the kids and then leave and go on her little vacations. So you trying to make it into somebody who is above the riffraff and doesn't like kids and also is not a woman. You need to stop.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he kind of transitioned away from rich auntie and now he's an auntie.
Auntie.
He didn't put the C in there, but he's moving there. I think eventually he'll get to unk T, but right now it's un-T. But
This sounds
nevertheless,
young.
it is not an energy. It absolutely is young. And then I have two more because, oh my God, the TikToks. So the TikTok is where I really get an idea of like what the Gen Zers are doing. Because I don't have that many in my life personally. So I get to see on the internet. And because I'm very unserious, I fall into all types of, the algorithm has me going places, okay? You don't have to tell my business, Lisa.
I will not. I will not.
I might tell y'all a little bit more.
When the Chinese warships make it to these shores,
they gonna get me.
Your ass got some problems.
They gonna get me.
You gonna have to answer some questions. But go ahead. Go ahead.
The kids have been talking about dream rotations, specifically the young ladies.
Oh, like smoking?
No, ma'am. They're talking about men that they want to have sex with are a dream rotation. Baby doll. Those are called trains. Choo choo. Okay.
I thought you meant we smoking it out, because that's what a rotation is.
That's what a rotation is. A dream rotation is someone you would like to smoke with. But no, the kids are doing dream rotations with dudes they want to hunt.
They're rebranding a train. That's crazy.
And then it's like, all you got to do, we got the emojis for that already. Just do the choo-choo and just list the dudes. It is not hard, baby. Y'all be trying to be so fresh and new, and y'all are
everything old is
recipes, okay? And last but not least, I saw something I had to throw on the list today because I was like, what the hell?
What the hell? What?
Some damn Beyonce stan said Blue is Beyonce reincarnated. This ain't even about reincarnated has a definition.
Oh my God.
Beyonce is still in the land of the living. So Jesus. Blue cannot,
she's not on the ofrenda. I don't understand. Why do they, a dictionary? There are no dictionaries in the homes. So the please start is to go buy an actual dictionary. That's an encyclopedia. Get your encyclopedia and get your Webster. Too. And I even had an adolescent. I had a children's dictionary when I was little, because we need to get back. I had both. Like when I had a children's dictionary, and then you kind of progress to the adult dictionary. My God, on today, all these phones with no actual applied knowledge. That's not what that means.
Dream rotation sent me over the edge, because they was picking fine dudes. I'm like, okay, girls got taste, but what rotation? None of these dudes smoke, so or like that we know. So like, and I keep right. The music is all sexy, so I'm like, no, they're talking about sex.
They're hunching down. They're talking about who they would like to have.
These are trains, sweetheart, and y'all don't need to be talking about trains. No,
y'all don't.
Okay?
Y'all are too young.
But if you go be spicy on the neck, get the terms right, please. For me, also, the children are calling slow dancing Riz dancing, and I think that you all should know that your children, quite literally.
I need to go check in with the Gen Z in my life. You know what, sister? This is let's end this. I have some nieces and nephews that I need to go text right now to make sure they're not embarrassing us on the internet. Riz dancing? Episode over. Sorry. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Please.
All right, y'all.
Holla.